sure you're a good candidate. They have clinics in Aurora, Superior, Highland Ranch, and Colorado Springs, so they're close to you. Your first consultation, that's free, so there's no reason to wait. Call QC Kinetics today, 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986.
This report is sponsored by Allstate.
A chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m., otherwise mostly sunny skies with high temperatures nearing 90 degrees. I'm Fox 31 Pinpoint Weather Meteorologist Greg Perez.
Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
KHOW Denver. An iHeartRadio station. Make us the #1 preset on the free iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Israel coming under criticism for the attack targeting Hamas leaders in Doha. ABC's James Longman's there.
The strike causing international outcry. Qatar condemning the attack, calling it state terrorism and accusing Israel of sabotaging ceasefire talks. Israel says it was entirely justified, though Hamas called it a failure, claiming that none of its leaders were killed. Instead, they say it only killed security guards and the son of a Hamas leader, as well as a member of the Qatari security forces.
Israel carrying out another round of heavy airstrikes against Houthi rebels in Yemen today as well. Russia says it did not deliberately target Poland when it sent drones into Polish airspace. They were shot down by NATO and Polish jets. An encouraging report on inflation. Prices at the wholesale level down more than economists had expected last month. Scientists say NASA's Mars rover finds the strongest hints yet of potential signs of ancient life by uncovering rocks in a dry riverbed. This is ABC News. A big move that will make a lot of parents happy. New Mexico becoming the first state in the nation to offer free child care for all families, regardless of income.
The big question here is how to pay for this. The governor is requesting an additional $120 million in funding at the next legislative session. And some state Republicans are now questioning if giving higher income people free child care makes sense. They're calling this nannies for millionaires. There's also the reality of a shortage of child care workers. So New Mexico is offering incentives to child care centers to encourage them to try to boost worker pay.
That's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze. In France, widespread protests are taking place. President Emmanuel Macron has just appointed his 4th prime minister in 12 months. The deficit is out of control. Borrowing costs are rising, and Parliament can't muster a majority to tackle spending. People are demonstrating against all of it. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
If you're talking, they will hear you every single time.
Oh, we're getting killed.
Yeah, well, Kyle's not here.
How come?
Kicked off the team. Didn't Tim tell you? Kyle and some other kids got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Come on, it's a first offense, right?
That we know of. But why should that matter? He knew not to drink. I've made it clear to Matt, that's what we expect from him. What have you said to Tim?
Nothing really. You know, a lot of kids try it at this age, so...
Yeah, well, a lot of kids don't try it too. I'm not saying I'm asking to be this perfect kid, but if I don't tell him what we expect and why he shouldn't drink, how's he gonna know?
You think kids that age really listen?
They never admit it, Bill, but they hear more than you think.
Talk. They hear you. For more information about talking with kids about underage drinking, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
KHOW News Time, 10:03.
Elected leaders are cheering the announcement of a new stadium location for the Broncos at Burnham Yard. Governor Polis says it took a lot of work to get to this point, but he's excited the Broncos will stay in Denver for a long time.
We were able to find a site in Denver that the state had purchased a number of years ago, and we're able to work with them, privately financed stadium, upgrade the fan experience, and provide a home for the next generation of Broncos fans.
The ownership group plans to pay for the real estate acquisition and construction costs. The Broncos are targeting completion by the 2031 NFL season. Douglas County plans to invest $15 million in projects at 2 local parks. The county will give $7.5 million to Lone Tree for High Note Regional Park. The same amount will go to Parker for improvements to Salisbury Park. The announcement came as county commissioners celebrated the 30th anniversary of a fund that helps pay for parks, trails, and open space projects. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
Now, Impact Traffic
from the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Taking a Walk Podcast.
Well, the problem we had late in the drive southbound at 58th is clear. Backups are dissipating. It's going to be a little slow from 58th coming into downtown through Spear, but not unusual there. We got a little bit of traffic coming north up from the Tech Center, 225 down from Parker, and 270 also a little busy. There's an accident westbound I-76 at 270 in the right lane, but minimal delays at this point. Pretty good drive so far. No rock scaling yet. I-70 remains open. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Hi, I'm Buzz Knight, the host of the Taking a Walk podcast, and join me for an episode with Rob Reiner talking about the new Spinal Tap release. Rob Reiner on the Taking a Walk podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
September 19th and 20th at T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. Streaming live only on Hulu.
Limited tickets still available at AXS.com.
Get yours while you still can.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
When was your last hearing test? Most people consistently check their eyes, teeth, and even their cholesterol, but decades can go by without people giving any thought to their ears. Here's the problem. Hearing loss often starts slowly, and by the time it's obvious, it's already affecting your brain, relationships, and confidence. Early detection is critical to your overall well-being. So if you honestly can't remember the last time you had your hearing checked, it's time. Visit us at soundrelief.com. That's soundrelief.com.
Get the best deal anywhere on countertops from theartofgranite.com. Any natural stone or man-made material, they do it all. Plus, you get a free backsplash, free sinks, a free cutting board, and a free bathroom vanity. Free tear out and haul away is always included, and always materials at cost. Even better now, 10% off labor for a limited time. Get prices on the phone, 303-386-5919, 386-5919, theartofgranite.com. Auto accident? Find out what your case is worth. Call Fuller.com.
It's the show that helps other shows prepare.
That was the old line about Rush Limbaugh's show, right? He'd always come on and say,
show prep for the rest of the media.
So no, it's part of my show prep to listen to each day.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Situation with Michael Brown, mornings at 6.
That is a good promo.
On 630 KHOW.
Yeah. Remember, put that mic close to your mouth.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. Come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, and for 46 years now in Denver, telling you that I'm here to help you, and I really am. A lot of people call in, though, where I can't help them, but I try. Or we tell them what to do or where to go. Tell you where to go. Anyway, so welcome. And it's such a privilege to be here, especially after my battle with cancer. And God, I'm so thankful and filled with gratitude. And I still get well wishes from my listeners. And I just want to tell you that I really, really appreciate it. That's it. Just want to tell you that I really appreciate it. And I love doing this show. And I'll do it as long as I possibly can. In any case, I was declared cancer free. And that's old news now, right? I want you to be able to reach out to me at any time. So I give a number that forwards to my cell phone. It really does. I mean, I'm not kidding. So you can text it. It'll come right to me. And that's what I call my text line, 747-999-5280. 747-999-5280. Right now, Terry is on the line. Terry, thank you for calling us. We called you back as promised. We do that to everyone who calls 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. What's going on? Hi, Terry.
Hey, good morning, Tom.
What's happening?
My wife and I are interested in getting long-term care insurance,
Yes.
and just wanted to see if there's any pitfalls to that. Good things, bad things.
You know what
to look out for?
Long-term care insurance has a lot of exceptions and exclusions. When I tell you to look at exclusions, those are the most important parts of an insurance policy. Let me give you an example, Terry. To get long-term care, it has to be classified as long-term care. Some of them have waiting periods of 6 months, and somebody can go broke during that time. Others have shorter waiting periods. Also, what is considered long-term care? Some policies exclude emergencies. So if you slip and fall and break a hip and need long-term care, it may not cover you. Others will cover it. So the exceptions are the most important part. But I'm going to do you a favor, Terry. One thing I love about this show, and again, I encourage everyone who listens to this show to shop around, but I also encourage you to go to the referral list, and I'm going to do that right now. Kachina, I want you to call either John Jr. or John Jones over at Integra. I want to go over this. These are very important questions, and they are experts at health insurance, and I believe they may not deal with long-term care, but I believe they might have a contact. But one thing I do want to tell you, and again, I'm not casting any disrespect on sponsors, but you will hear people say that an annuity guarantees income and no loss, which is true, but it has long-term care coverage. It does not. It has a long-term care rider. Let me explain this. If you have an annuity, certain insurance companies will double the annuity payment, and they call it long-term care coverage. It is not. It does not cover long-term care. It simply triggers with long-term care. So if you're getting a payment of $1,200 a month on your annuity, it goes to $2,400 a month. Right now, long-term care can run anywhere from $6,000 to $15,000 a month, just to give you perspective. So I'm glad you have this question. I'd like you to hang on. And Kachina, did you hear me about John? Either John, let's get them on to start.
I'm working on it.
And then anyone else, you're welcome to chime in on long-term care, especially those who have used it, because it is a very important thing these days. A lot of people are thinking about it. Now, long-term care is not necessarily assisted living either. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it has to be a higher level, like a nursing home. That would be considered long-term care on some policies, but assisted living would not. So you see, there are a lot of caveats or warnings that you should be aware of. So I'm going to get someone on to talk about it. Meanwhile, I want to bring up Paul the Waterman, who's with us today. And there is something going on. First of all, you know how I feel about health. Well, I think you do. And again, I'm not one to brag. I was exercise. I exercised, watched what I ate, did supplementation, did everything I could, still got cancer. Okay. So, but what I am saying is this is part of the reason I fared so well, according to my doctors, is that I was a healthy organism going into it. Now, what's wrong with this picture? We eat right, we exercise, we take supplements, yet our water, and I'm going to say this, and I mean this sincerely, our water is not safe to drink. Now, does it mean it's going to kill you immediately? No. But years ago, water was much better, much cleaner. So why is water from our municipal water systems getting worse? Why? Why is that happening? Paul, give me a rundown real quick. I want a quick explanation. Why do water supplies not keep up with normal health standards? Now, again, I'm not saying it's poison, right? Tap water is considered purified water. Is it purified? or not?
No, they can't, simply because of the volume of water they have to provide. So
what does that mean, really?
That means that you have an expectation of flow rate to your home when you live
Flow
in town.
rate,
That's
right,
it.
okay.
So the volume of water and the flow rate that has to be provided, they do not have the technology to filter it on demand.
Couldn't they filter it, put it in holding tanks, and then give it on demand?
Yeah, but you're talking about millions and trillions of dollars of infrastructure updated.
Our water systems are not set up right now.
Correct.
To give the level of purification we need. Why did the level of purification rise? Why did the need for this purification rise? It used to be a water plant was a simple supply. They didn't have all of this purification.
To be very candid with you, the EPA has a laundry list of unregulated contaminants. So that means there's pharmaceuticals in the water that we know of, but the EPA doesn't make the municipality test for them and then report them every year.
But are there truly? This is what I want to know, Paul. And again, you're one of the few in this business I truly trust, and I'm not accusing you of exaggerating, but I want to know this. Are you saying if I take a glass of water, not the one that you supplied me, of course, I have reverse osmosis, but if I go to a normal tap water in Denver or somewhere in the municipal area, in the metro area, and I take a glass of water, will it have microscopic nanoparticles of prescription drugs?
100%, absolutely correct. No, I'm serious, Tom. There's people in this industry right now that are building new reservoirs that test the water that says that every over-the-counter medication tests positive. In Nantucket, they tested for cocaine in the water supply. There's a carcinogen that's in the water called 1,4-dioxin. It's been in the water supply since the 1890s when water distribution started, and it's an unregulated contaminant. They're not being truthful.
So if it's unregulated, the EPA doesn't even show it.
That's right. And but
it doesn't mean it's healthy for you.
Correct.
Give me one of the biggest contaminants that is not regulated that we may find in our water.
Cocaine.
Come on.
The news story, look at in Nantucket, again, out east, over the holiday weekend, they tested for cocaine in the water supply. It was huge. That's a pharmaceutical. Okay. You have estrogen. You have hormones in the water.
Okay. Hold on, because I want to ask you, this is a big topic for me because I believe in clean water like I believe, as I said, supplements, eating healthy, exercising. How the hell can we do all that and disregard water? I want to ask you straight up, and we're going to get this answer on long-term care coverage, but I want to ask you straight up, what does happen in a water plant at the municipal level? And we're going to talk about that. I want to know exactly what does happen. Is it simply diluted? Are there actually big giant filters? What does chlorine do? All of this, I really want to ask because I don't know. And again, I have such a keen interest in my health after this battle with cancer and what seems to be a successful battle that I'm really interested in knowing. Anyway, Paul the Waterman is with us. We're also going to find out about long-term care. And while we're on the topic of insurance, how about just regular insurance? If you want an insurance checkup and compare what you have with what's out there with an honest review, it's Compass Insurance Group, the free insurance checkup, 303-996-9000.
This is Dan Kaplis. I've spent the past 40 years litigating catastrophic injury and death cases. Because of our great team, we've been blessed with record-breaking success. And we've reached the point where we don't have to do these cases. We are honored to get to do these cases. And
Who's
we
on the board today?
choose who we have the privilege of representing.
Hello.
Worst of the poor to teachers,
the
police
reason I didn't
officers,
think it was used because I'm not getting any
construction
pain
workers,
in the ass
CEOs,
sounds.
and professional athletes.
Not yet.
Their help, call 303
There's still time.
5551 or hit dankapleslaw.com.
I love when I have sponsors that I love, and I do love all of them, but this Great Western Buildings came just at the right time. I am so sick and tired of the steel building industry. Listen, I just want to tell you, the industry is crooked. There are misrepresentations, people saying they represent a factory or that it's direct from the factory. The only one I know direct from the factory is Great Western Buildings, because the factory's right here in Colorado. 120,000 square foot facility in Grand Junction, 150 Coloradans employed. They are direct to the consumer with a lifetime structural warranty, 100% American steel, and their finishes have a 40-year guarantee. Direct to you. I want you to call greatwesternbuildings.com to get the best buildings, the best construction, and a true factory direct to you. 303-495-5701.
You can certainly go on air and talk to him about it. We have Paul Downing on, who's from Water Pros. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I don't stack the show, so I can try to ask him about it, but I don't know if they're actually. So, are you familiar with the show?
I sent a script, by the way. I did.
All right, hang on for a second.
Thanks for calling the Troubleshooter Show. Please hold a moment.
Hello, Tom Martino Show. Hi.
See, it should be pretty simple. Like, Martino Show, what's your name? They give the name.
You know what, though? Let me just tell you something. Because of our social media reach right now,
yeah,
like one of my posts got 29,000 views on this thing. And
that's awesome.
I'm thinking we're getting a lot of out-of-market calls right now. She'll even tell you that.
That's fine. You just simple ask, hey, how can we help?
Right. But there is a script to so people aren't intimidated going on the air. I really did send a script. It's pretty cool. I can send you a copy too.
I'd love it.
Yeah, it's just some. If you look at it on a serious note, it's like a subtle approach to saying you're going to go on the air. Okay, so let me see if I can. Brad, is it Brad? Right, Brad.
Dragon works.
I want to know what I have it listed under. I think I have it Dragon.
I'll forward it to him.
Oh, good. I just want him. I have it right here, Dragon at iHeart.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, no. I can send it to you. I'm pretty proud of it, actually, to be honest with you. It's very subtle, and she wasn't doing anything wrong. All of a sudden, she got hit with all these inquiries, like, what the hell's this? I'm calling for help, and
yeah.
So what I wanted to do was just give her like a little guide.
Yeah, only took you 40 years to make it.
I know it. I used to have one years ago, but when I was nationally syndicated on Westward. West.
Word.
Yeah,
Word is the magazine. Wood
no, Westwood.
Yeah, Westwood is the network.
Westwood. Got it.
Word is the magazine.
It's one I always
can't go number 2 anymore.
All right.
What was that question the caller had?
I don't know. We'll find out. If they don't go on, we'll have to figure it out. Let me just find out where I put this word.
Some people just get upset about something that you said because they believe different and then don't have the courage to go on and confront you about it.
That was exactly some of the part of that.
Well, did you hear what did they say? I'd love to address it off the air even. I mean, not off the air, but I'll address it with Paul directly. What did they hint about?
Talking about the long-term care insurance, but you're going to talk about it with John Jones Jr.
Oh, okay, the long-term care insurance. Yeah. What did they say anything about it?
No, they hung up.
Oh, okay.
Happens a lot.
Come on, Tom. Where the fuck did you put that script, damn it? Now that's weird. I had it. I might have not saved it yet. Kelly, I'm going to ask you something really. Oh, no, I have it. Here it is. Dragon, it's coming right to you right now.
Okay.
All right, bro. It's sent to you. I think it. Yeah. I'd be curious for your feedback on it. Actually.
Yeah, sure.
And of course, on AM.
I like hearing the opinions. As long as it's to the right, I'm good with it.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. K&H Home Solutions now has painting pros. You can depend on this company, 65 years strong. Now with painting, khwindows.com. We'll get you there, khwindows.com. John Jones Jr. is with Integra Insurance, one of our experts on health and coverage. And John, I'm not sure, and I forgot if Integra Insurance covers long-term care. Do you guys offer long-term care insurance?
We do not directly. My dad's known another agent for decades that he's worked with that's what she does. She specializes in long-term care. So when we get those requests or questions from our clients, we will refer them to her.
Now, I recall having her on the show, and she's very good. Maybe we should call her, but I want to ask you some general questions. I said the most important part of a long-term care policy is the exclusions, the biggest parts. The exclusions, for example, some of them have waiting periods, don't they?
Yes, my understanding is that's correct. Yes, sir. And so it's the details, right? It's the policy details that you really want to pay attention to.
And some of them, for example, I know one time we had one where a person fell and broke something and it was considered an emergency and it was excluded, that the long-term care had to be more of a natural onset.
Sure. That's understandable as well, because that's typically for long-term care. That's if you're not able to take care of yourself, right? For chronic illnesses, disabilities, things like that.
And sometimes emergencies can be excluded.
Yeah, it would seem that would be the case. And if it's a disability, though, it could be for a longer term, right? You have an emergency circumstance that puts you that knocks you out, that causes a disability. Then through that, eventually, you could be able to get the benefits of the policy. But again, that's a general answer.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Hey, Terry, I want to tell Terry Kachina to hang on. And what we'll do is get John's expert, if he has her contact information, we'll get her on. But John, while you're on, I actually pulled up some texts that I have gotten. I squirrel away texts and emails sometimes for when I have people, and I'm glad I have you on because I wanted to ask you something. You know, with Mike, and I just want to thank you guys at Integra. Do you know, John, that other than my deductible, whatever the hell it is, it's nothing. It's a few $100. I have not paid a dime for my extensive cancer coverage. I mean, not a dime. I mean, you guys set me up with the best. But whenever I talk about this, I'm going to pull up some of these tests. Tom, you always brag about your gold supplement. You say it's the best. I want to get it. Okay, I want to ask you something. When it comes to supplements, are my supplements still available? Because I remember you said that some of them are going away. Can you explain why I have such excellent coverage and how other people who are looking for a Medicare supplement can enjoy the same benefit?
Sure. Well, first let's start. A Medicare supplement is standardized by the government. So you have different supplements, and they supplement original Medicare. Medicare A and B remains your primary coverage, and then you have a supplement that supplements or fills in the gap. So listeners may hear that term, Medigap insurance. That's the same thing as a Medicare supplement plan. And so it fills in those gaps under original Medicare. So everything goes through Medicare A and B first. You have a Plan G, a Medicare Supplement Plan G. There's a lot of companies out there that offer a Medicare Supplement Plan G, but the plan itself is the exact same.
Oh.
It's standardized by the government.
Okay, so they're standardized. So if I have a G, is there an A and a B and a C and a D?
There are other ones, N, HDG. Yeah, there's other Medicare supplements out there that exist that fill in the gaps differently, that are designed differently. currently the G is considered the Cadillac plan. There is a plan that still technically exists called a Plan F, but you had to turn age 65 prior to January 1st of 2020 to be able to buy a Plan F. So it's gone away for anyone who has turned 65 after January 1st of 2020.
Okay, so let's talk about supplements. Do you think supplements have become mandatory? I don't mean mandatory like you have to have it, but I mean
necessary.
They're necessary. Let's put it that. Don't you think they're necessary? What would I pay if I didn't have a supplement, roughly, and I'm stacking up $1 million in medical bills? Seriously, if I didn't have a supplement, I would be out of pocket hundreds of thousands of dollars, technically.
Not necessarily. I mean, so everything goes through Medicare Part A and Part B. You certainly would have a lot more costs out of pocket.
Right.
Medicare Part A and Part B each have their own benefit structure. Like Medicare Part A for hospitalization for your first 60 days in the hospital lifetime. These are inpatient, so you've been admitted into the hospital. You have a $1,600.
And that's Part A, and there's no premium for that, right?
No premium for most people. There's no premium for Part A. For Part B, that's your outpatient care. So labs, physician services, durable medical equipment, those things. That is where you have that $257 deductible. And then if you only had Medicare A and B, after your $257 deductible, Medicare pays 80%, you pay 20%.
Okay.
But there's no max out of pocket on that 20%.
Now, I have a note here, and I don't mind talking personal stuff. I have a note here that I am paying for my Medicare B coverage. I didn't realize I was paying this much, $560.
That's IRMA, income-related monthly adjustment amount. So that's based on income, and
so people will pay anywhere from $100 to what, $600-700 a month, or does it not go that?
Sure, but the base premium this year is $185, and if you you can see an IRMA chart online.
Okay, got it. So it's based on income. So I'm paying $560 a month. Then I have listed here my super duper pooper scooper, my super Wellaby Medicare supplement. I'm paying $180 a month. Now, what I'm saying is, so if you think about this, that supplement has covered so much, I can't believe it. Explain what a supplement covers. And this is a Plan G. So do all Plan Gs cost $180, or are they different for different?
No, it depends on the carrier. So every carrier there's different premiums. You have a range typically for someone turning age 65. It also depends on rating area that you're in when you're buying the plan. And so
why would there be a rating area when it comes to a supplement? Why? I don't understand that.
It's just some carriers, their rating area will be, it's the entire state. But there are some carriers who, they have different rating areas. So if you're on the Western Slope, the plan could cost more or less. It just depends.
Really? That's weird. Okay.
Okay. It's based on utilization in those rating areas. It's based on utilization. And so it's all about cost.
All right. So you get what you pay for with supplements, would you say?
Sure. I mean, and it doesn't mean that G is necessarily the best or right plan for everyone, but it's like you said, it's the gold standard or the Cadillac plan. It most comprehensively fills in the gaps of Medicare.
Now,
for that supplement.
I mentioned what I'm paying for Part B, but I don't really pay it. It comes out of my benefit. And that's with most people. Now, can you actually decline Part B?
I mean, you could, yeah.
Now, I recall someone who called. I recall someone who called the show one time, and I want you to explain this. They declined Part B because they wanted to get more in their monthly check, and it went on like that for 10 years. Then all of a sudden, they got a catastrophic illness, and they wanted to go back on Part B and pay for it, but they were told they could not do that, or it would be cost prohibitive. Explain.
Well, you can't. Well, no, that's it. So there is an enrollment window to re-enroll in Medicare Part B, and then you're penalized, though, for all the months you didn't have Part B, and there's a calculator for that you can look at. online to see, okay, these are all the months that I haven't had Medicare Part B, and this is what it would cost.
And so literally it can become cost prohibitive, where if you don't take it when you're eligible for it, then it could be like, not realistic. Is that a good way to put it?
Yes, sir. No, it's highly recommended that you do Medicare Part A and Part B when you have the opportunity to do so, whether in your initial enrollment period, whether you're turning 65 or, I guess if you're disabled prior to age 65, you get automatically enrolled in A and B. So
now someone just texted me, does the supplement cover drugs? And I don't think any supplements cover drugs, do they? That's a separate plan.
No, think of it this way. A supplements Medicare. So it's not covering anything extra or additional than what Medicare A and B. Medicare Part D is separate. That's prescription drug coverage. So if you need, now if the drug is administered in the hospital, then yes, it's covered under Medicare. Or
I see.
Or if it's by your physician, Part B. But if it's, you're picking up prescriptions from the pharmacy, then no, you need a Part D prescription drug plan separate from that.
Okay, and that, I believe I'm paying $30 a month. Does that sound right?
It's possible. I'd have to look at which policy.
So when I add up everything, and again, part of it comes out of my benefits, so I don't really feel it. When I add up my premiums, now people might say this is outrageous, but it's not. It's around $700 for everything. But what would a comparable individual plan, if someone is not on Medicare,
There's not a comparable individual plan to a Plan G. I mean, your deductible is your Part B deductible for the year, which this year is $257. I mean, that's your healthcare costs for hospitalization and outpatient care, because hospitalization is taken care of 100%.
Wow.
That Plan G.
So tell me about this then. Under private plans for people who are, 30s, 40s, 50s. I mean, we've heard a lot about these insurances going up. What would you say is the average premium for, let's say, a husband and wife with 2 kids, a family of 4? I mean, just roughly.
Completely. Yeah, I mean, so it depends on the ages, certainly, but $1,200 a month maybe.
Wow.
And that's for a bronze plan. That's if you don't qualify for tax credits, if you don't qualify for subsidies, and there is going to be, certainly there's been a lot in the news, and our state's been trying to do a lot because of what original rate filings looked like.
Right.
But we're going to have some significant rate increases for 2026.
We are.
If you don't qualify for a tax credit, it's going to really impact you. But it's looking potentially more it was going to be 28% in the Denver metro market to over, 38% on the Western Slope. And now we're looking at closer to, because of what our state is doing to try to help lower these costs, is pulling money from other places and finagling things. But you're looking at maybe 18 to 20%.
Oh my gosh. John Jones Jr., I appreciate it. I took way more than I told you I would, but I wanted to get these texts out of the way that I got. If anyone has any questions, though, we can always contact these guys. Integra, INTEGRA, Integra Insurance, 303-466-5500. When does open enrollment start, by the way? We may have already put them on hold. That's okay. I'll get the dates for open enrollment on another time. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
I had him back up, but he was already gone.
That's okay. Thanks.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Michael Brown in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon. 630 KHOW, Denver.
Oh, no, you call them. No matter what, call them. No matter what.
Impact Traffic.
From the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center.
I want to get the long-term care specialist on.
Our American
we got to call
Stories.
back and get her information.
Kelly's going to work on that.
Thank you.
Difficulties, no big delays. I-76 westbound right at 270, right lane with an accident. Backed up a little bit, not a big delay though. 270 is running slightly slow west up through Vasquez. Construction out east on I-70 eastbound near Colfax has you slow from Tower coming through. It is sluggish but not jammed, and I-25 south coming into downtown a little sluggish also. But other than that, again, no big problem spots. Foothills Drive still looks good. We're just starting to see some slowing down Floyd Hill. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the story of why Philadelphia Eagles fans pelted a man dressed up as Santa Claus with snowballs. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
You know, I joke with Fix It 24/7 that their name is Fix It, not replace it. But you see, that's what a lot of companies want to do, just replace things that go bad. Fix It, by their very name, wants to keep things running efficiently, and they want to keep things running without you having to replace it. That's why they do their extreme clean, tune, and check of the appliances, either the furnace or AC. Right now, look at the furnace for $39 and get it done. They take it apart to the extent they can and practically refurbish the whole thing, adding life and efficiency. FixMyHome.com, book now. FixMyHome.com, book now. Hey, John Fuller will talk to you about your personal injury accident. He's an attorney, a personal injury attorney. You might say, what's the big deal? Well, here it is. When you call other firms, they want to sign you up and get you in to talk to an attorney after you sign up. With John Fuller, you can talk to him, ask to talk to him, and ask all of your questions about your personal injury case, whether for you or a relative or a passenger in your car, whatever it is. He'll talk to you free of charge, free legal advice. Then, if you hire him, it's on a percentage fee basis. And get this, you get his cell phone number that you can continue to use. Honest to goodness, that's communication. John Fuller, Fuller Law. Now, you call him right now, 303-597-4500.
Make sure that you're taken care of when you're on the air.
Okay.
But the other really important factor is that the audience can possibly benefit from some education. Yeah. All right. Do you want to go by Scott? All right. Scott, hang on for me.
How lovely are you?
She is, isn't she?
Hey, what do you think of my script?
I'm doing a little touches to it, but yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, good. Send it back to me.
Yeah.
Mark and Suzanne traveling today?
Yeah, for a few weeks.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
There is a caller on 4. His name's Evan.
Yeah.
Apparently,
yes,
he
I got the emails.
Contacted you directly, and you have emails from him directly. Okay.
Yep, got it all.
Okay.
And then try to get Integra's expert on long term.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay, thanks.
Consumer advocate Marc Mager. If you're looking for a home loan, you need to call CMG Financial. They're going to save you a ton of money. Don't let the other guys fool you. Go to partnerinlending.com. Partnerinlending.com. Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know some really romance. Both you and the one you love. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic.
Where'd you buy it? Online?
Yeah, Apple Store.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, I do everything directly with Apple.
Now this is a 12. This is an old one, and the only reason I can use it because I don't have to do a lot. It's only to trigger
Good
sound
morning,
effects.
Tom Martino Show.
But it's pretty cool. So this is the old version of that.
Yeah.
This is called. It was called the
Peter.
Pro.
Yeah.
And
so we had
it's
a call
12.9,
yesterday,
but
from
it's not near the processing power. My God, it has the old A something chips.
Yeah, I only do the iPad Pros. The rest of them, yeah.
Yeah, but this has the M. You probably have the 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And apparently
This has
there
the
are multiple
the A chips. They were called A15 or A12, whatever.
Yep.
But mine is or A4, A5, whatever. So mine is one of the older processors, but for sound effects, it's perfect because all I have to do is I like this setup. It's really cool.
From
over the
same
years,
company, though,
over
BNS
the last few years,
Construction.
think about it. I mean, it's evolved quite a bit.
Jason Pardykes.
I got to see what my YouTubers are doing. Come on, you mothers. Where's my live?
Oh my God.
Okay. Let me switch over to my name and get on the YouTubes. Get on my YouTuber's account.
Wow. Are you willing to come on air and talk about this, or is this jeopardizing the fact that you are prosecuting this or bringing it?
Restrictions apply.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, Tom Martino here. Paul the Waterman will get to, but I want to go to Scott, who has an issue with some windows. Scott, talk to me. What's going on? Oh, he fell off? Okay. Anyway, here's the thing. When it comes to big boxes, I'm going to make a note of this anyway. Scott was calling about windows. And Scott, if you want to call back, we'll take you. I'm trying to get people on as soon as I can. And when it comes to windows, you have the price, the product, and the service. The product sometimes is excellent, but the service is bad, or the service is great and the product's bad. But remember those three elements with almost everything: price, product, service. And people sometimes don't want to do business with the manufacturer if they just had something installed. They say, wait a minute, don't tell me to call the manufacturer. You just got finished installing these. So here's what I recommend. When it comes to appliances, windows, anything at all, price, product, and service, I insist on having the retailer who sold it to me, I insist on having them take care of me if something happens in the near future, rather than being sloughed off to the manufacturer. For example, if I buy a TV and I'm having problems in the first month of ownership, I expect the retailer to step up and not have me go and deal with Samsung or RCA or something like that. Anyway, that's just a side note. I want to go to Evan now, who has an issue with an apartment, and I've been reading some emails here. And Evan, I've never seen a better written letter in my life. So I need to ask you something. I want you to fess up. Did you use AI, artificial intelligence, to write that letter?
I did.
Aha, man, it's good. Yes. It really is good. So you were doing a step-by-step process that I outlined on getting your apartment fixed based on the warranty of habitability. So explain the situation from the beginning. I don't need each and every detail, but at least start and I'll ask you questions. Go ahead.
Okay. So I moved in the first week of April 4th. And that first week I was there for the first 6 days, I didn't have a water heater, which is kind of outlined in one of those emails.
Now, remember though, things that were fixed, you don't get to pile on. You only get to talk about what hasn't been fixed.
Okay. Understood.
In other words, all I'm saying is you're wasting your time if in your letter you outline what used to be wrong.
Okay.
So what is the warranty of habitability issue that is ongoing?
So as of right now, I have a roof leak. I have an exposed ceiling without insulation and an exposed subfloor.
Now, why do you have it? Why is all this exposed? Because they exposed it to fix it and never got around to it?
Correct. So on May 15th, I had a fire suppression system, the sprinkler head, start leaking. And it took them 15 days to get somebody out there to actually fix the issue.
Okay, Evan, I want to remind you, I think that's terrible. But it's not going to help you what happened in the past. Right now, we need to deal with the issues. And Evan, you're not alone, by the way. People feel, wait a minute, I got screwed here. Look at this experience I've had from the beginning. And I understand that part, and I'm sympathetic to it. But for the warranty of habitability, even if it took 6 months to fix it, if it's fixed, they don't want to hear about it. What I want to do is I want to pinpoint right now exactly what's wrong. I don't want to hear and I don't mean this personally, but for the warranty of habitability thing, let's talk about getting these people to fix it. Okay, just hang on and we'll do that. And I want to talk about what still lingers, because people listening right now might have the same kind of issue and they want to know what to do. They want to know exactly what to do. So hang on and we'll talk to you. And then we have a follow-up with a yesterday call where somebody was complaining about a general contractor. We contacted the general contractor who says, wait a minute. These guys didn't pay, and now they're trying to get out of paying me, and that's why they're bad-mouthing me. So we'll talk about that and more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Now we're in pretty good shape out here. Really no difficulties, no big delays. I-76 westbound right at 270, right lane with an accident. Backed up a little bit, not a big delay though. 270 is running slightly slow west up through Vasquez. Construction out east on I-70 eastbound near Colfax has you slow from Tower coming through. It is sluggish but not jammed. And I-25 south coming into downtown, a little sluggish also. But other than that, again, no big problem spots. Foothills Drive still looks good. We're just starting to see some slowing down Floyd Hill. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the story of the man who wrote the gospel song, I'll Fly Away. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
You know, I love saying Excel Roofing because the first part of the name is exactly what they are. Excelling at roofing, or excellent, E-X-C-E-L, excelroofing.com. Let me tell you what they are. 100% guaranteed satisfaction, or you don't pay a cent. They say you don't pay a cent until you're content. Let me tell you why I love that. In the world of roofing, so many things can go wrong, and you have so many clowns out there knocking on doors, and then they don't do it right, and you have no choice. You've already paid them. Excel will never ask for money up front. They do excellent work. They have a project manager on each and every job to see it through to the very end. You are in safe and professional hands with Excel. 303-761-6400, 761-6400. Hey, Vestera Turnkey, V-E-S-T-E-R-R-A, Vestera. Why do I love them? They hold your hand through the process of being a landlord in a hot market with a hot property, and they help you with every aspect of it. Finding insurance, a management company, repairs and maintenance. They even take phone calls for you. I call them the nanny of landlords. You can be a landlord and they can help you, and then you can enjoy really good returns. Find out more at VesteraTurnkey.com, 303-888-3788. You're doing a good job, Kachina.
Thanks. Do you still want this chick's number?
Yeah.
Because John is not responding.
Well, John Sr. has it too at the main number. But it's not urgent, but I would love, since we brought it up, I would love to get some comments.
Okay. All right. Well, you got to go to Peter from yesterday.
Gotcha.
Because this guy is suing
What about Paul and Mary?
the dude.
Okay, I wanted to wait. Listen, I wanted to wait until Dimitri got here. He's going to be a few minutes late, only because Dimitri's been working on it. And actually,
I know, but this guy is a completely separate. It's a completely separate.
Oh,
deal.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
He's working on the decking case. This guy's being sued by this guy for about, I don't know how many plaintiffs there are.
Okay, I'll take it. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Just remind everyone, I'll get to him. Like so many people, they get on and they wait 30 seconds and hang up. Jesus Christ. People are so impatient nowadays.
No, it's kind of our phones.
Oh, okay.
I blame Kelly.
Yeah, well, that would be a good thing to do. Send me your revisions. I want to look at them.
Happens.
I just hit send.
Okay, good. Oh, there you go. You pain in the ass.
Dimitri's there. You better go answer the door.
Yeah.
Want to bring up that
Oh yeah.
that issue, something that happened on Yelp, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's something that happened 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So so there's some I've learned that there's some customers it's good not to get.
No, I know. You're absolutely right. Ooh, I like these revisions.
Thank you.
Although I want to say podcast and radio show because podcast has a softer sound.
But podcast doesn't mean that you're on the air.
No, but it says both podcast and radio show.
Yeah. Okay.
I only because it dilutes it more than it just. I'm trying to give them. I know what you're saying too. You know, we don't want to mislead people.
30K how.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So yesterday we got a call from somebody who was complaining about a major renovation. They said they paid $386,000 to Jason Pardykes, B&S Construction, and he eventually said he couldn't finish the project. Only 85% of the job was completed, and none of the work had permits. And so then we called him and he said, wait, there's way more to the story. But meanwhile, we have a call from a different person now, Peter. And Peter heard about this and has something to say. Go ahead, Peter.
Morning, Tom. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Well, I represent a group of homeowners in the Todd Creek Farms Homeowner Association who brought a lawsuit against their HOA and a number of the board members.
We read about that. We read about that yesterday. And the reason I didn't bring it up is because I didn't want to just start piling stuff on them. And a lawsuit isn't necessarily proof of guilt, but it was some pretty serious allegations. And since it is public record, you're free to talk about it as long as it's in the lawsuit. Are you suspecting that Jason Pardykes took money?
Well, we believe that there was an undisclosed connection between Jason Pardykes and Method Landscaping Company, which is a landscaping company that the Homeowners Association contracted with for services. We believe that he improperly benefited from that contract as well as B&S Construction.
Okay, so how do you think he got kickbacks? Let's just say it like it is from the landscaping company.
Essentially, we think he is the landscaping company, Tom.
Okay, but what would be wrong with that? I mean, if you pay, let's just say he did have an undisclosed ownership. what's wrong with it if the work is being done and money's being paid for the work? That's the part I don't understand. What's wrong with it?
So there's a few things. Well, first off, if you're on the board of a corporation, in this instance it's a nonprofit corporation, as all HOAs in Colorado are, you cannot benefit from a contract that your company has with another company.
Okay, hold on. Just hold on. We'll come back to this. You actually can benefit. There's no law against that, but I want to talk to you about it.
With me, we're going to come right back to you, okay?
No more speakerphone.
Okay, no problem.
No more speakerphone. No more speakerphone.
What?
Weren't you talking to...
Okay, so I am going to copy these and try to...
Okay, we're still trying to dial up a few things, so we'll get back to you as soon as possible, okay? Evan, are you there?
And you don't want to say a short reason, a short description.
No problem. Okay, we're working on
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm changing this right now.
Sure.
I like some of these. Let me
just from the perspective of the guys who's answered phones, I think that's just a little bit more concise.
Oh, by the way, yeah, and I wasn't when it says what are you calling about? Gather a very short descriptions.
Yeah.
I wasn't meaning that these are the words to say, but just a guide.
Yeah. Peter, tell him when we come back, please be off the speaker.
It's not a speakerphone. He's got like a microphone piece.
Headset? Yeah.
Hey, Peter, are you still on your headset? Oh, okay. All right. Are you on speaker? We're getting a little bit of an echo.
Can you talk directly into the handset of the phone?
Can you actually use the headset of the phone?
If it's safe.
Is that your sound or is that
That's Kelly. No, it's Kelly.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
She doesn't know how to use her new phone yet.
Much better. Okay. Listen, it's going through some, like, freaking things that
She's got growing pains. Thank you, Kelly.
For what?
Yeah, I like that. We have found.
Peter to talk into his phone.
I do that all the time, Dragon. You sound like I never ask people to do that. We have nobody in there, so I'm just going to shut it down for now. Good morning. Thank you so much. I just got a 911 alert, just like I just got on my phone.
Nice.
Oh my God, that's creepy.
Oh, it's a test, by the way. It's a test, metro-wide.
Thankfully, we were in a commercial block at the time because if anybody's phone went over the air, we'd be a deep shit. Stupid testing people.
You're such a pain in the ass. You just got a whole, what do you call it? Irritating sounds?
What? With what?
Never mind. I'm going to go get coffee. Go screw yourself. Oh, yeah. Just.
Somebody know what Tom's talking about?
I'm sorry.
Preliminary results from Palmer Lake's special election show that have measured the required voter approval for future annexation. taxation is passing comfortably, with more than 1,000 votes counted, requiring voter approval. It's leading 765 to 375. The votes come after controversy about annexing land for a Buc-ee's near I-25. There are also votes on whether to recall 2 members of the Palmer Lake Board of Trustees. So far, there are more votes to recall Shayna Ball and Kevin Dreyer than to retain them. Election judges will finish counting the ballots today for the recall election. Another warm day today along the Front Range. A chance of showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies with high temperatures in the upper 80s and lower 90s today. Those showers and thunderstorms wrap up by around 9 o'clock. Then mostly
Not in here
lows in the 60s. Fox 31
anymore.
Greg Perez says tomorrow's high will be
It's good for one day.
and in the lower 80s on Friday. That's the latest. I'm Chad Bauer.
So we don't have anybody, right?
From the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center. This report is sponsored by Taking a Walk Podcast.
Well, we're hanging in there pretty well. Got a little bit of traffic out on the roadways. 10 when you're backing out of the airport. Slightly slow. It's not a real big delay, though. Heading back on I-70. I-70 west from Tanya back to I-25. About 10 minutes. 270 east coming through Commerce City there past Wolferson. A little sluggish, as well as up north out of North Bend and Thornton for southbounders. And then into downtown. It's been maybe a little bunching there on some traffic. US 6 west of Golden, Clear Creek Canyon area. Still seeing delays. One off-freeway crash just popped up at Federal and Kentucky. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Hi, I'm Buzz Knight, the host of the Taking a Walk podcast, and join me for an episode with Rob Reiner talking about the new Spinal Tap release. Rob Reiner on the Taking a Walk podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
September 19th and 20th at T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. Streaming live only on Hulu.
Limited tickets still available at AXS.com.
Get yours while you still can.
Escape to poolside paradise at MGM Resort in Las Vegas. Sip on a refreshing cocktail, lounge in a luxury suite, earn a non-stop fun with MGM Rewards. Book a sizzling summer escape today. Visit MGMRewards.com for details.
Neighbors you know are talking about Galaxy concrete coatings and their transformation, like Rosemary.
I heard about Galaxy through social media as well as on the radio. I wanted to have Galaxy come out and redo my back patio. It runs the full length of the back of the house.
Galaxy concrete coatings is not epoxy. It's 4 times stronger.
Galaxy was great. It was very thorough. They were very clean, very efficient. They cleaned up after themselves. I was very impressed with the crew.
Commercial or residential, Galaxy transforms pools, patios, garage doors, driveways, and more. And also, it comes with a lifetime warranty.
The reason I chose Galaxy is because of the durability. We've got pets, and so sometimes when you have accidents, it's very easy to just hose off. My neighbors have come over, and every single one of them have said,
Are we there? Hello?
30 seconds.
Okay,
yeah,
thanks,
we're still
man.
here. Yep.
Almost.
Weekdays 2 to 4. It's right.
Yeah.
The senator joins me to discuss what prompted her to join the race and what her path to victory looks like. Wednesday on Ryan Schuling Live.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. We're here to help you, and you can call anytime, 24/7, 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466. That's 303-MARTINO. If you leave your name, we'll get back to you. You can be part of the show. We cover any and all consumer problems. We try to get things fixed. We have people who help us, retired executives, doctors, lawyers, accountants, professionals to help. And one of the cases we take a lot of cases when it comes to renting and people upset. And Evan had a lot of problems. Okay, I'm not going to doubt that. He had a lot of problems. And the problems he had took a long time to get fixed, but he believes he has a violation of the Habitability Act. And let me explain how that works. I'm going to really nutshell it, though. In essence, there are minimum standards of habitability set forth by municipalities or the state. And if the landlord does not provide these minimum standards, then you can warn the landlord about it in a certain way. And if they don't correct it still, and it's a legit problem, not just nitpicking, but a legit habitability standard problem covered by the law, if they don't handle it, you're allowed to divert rent money to fix it. You're not allowed to withhold rent money just to withhold it or to penalize the landlord. The money must go directly toward alleviating the problems. So Evan said, he emailed me and said, I have this issue. And he wrote a really good letter and all of that. And we're talking to him now. When I was talking to him, though, he kept bringing up the past, all the main problems. And I understand why. He's trying to show me that he had a big problem with this landlord, and this is not the first time. And I understand that. But it doesn't really help when it comes to the habitability standards. And Evan, I want to reference this letter you wrote. And you wrote a letter to the property management company, and you said violation of habitability laws, notice of uninhabitable conditions, okay? And you said, I'm writing to notify you about conditions on apartment so-and-so at this address, okay, basically. And you said, my unit has been without a ceiling, has had exposed subflooring, and has suffered an ongoing roof leak. All of those things are happening right now. That's excellent. And so, but the part where a portion of the ceiling collapsed, narrowly missing my mother, creating a serious safety hazard. Again, I understand what you're doing. You're saying, look, this is dangerous. It could happen again, probably. So that's okay. But again, these issues have persisted without adequate resolution. All right. Then you went on to talk about other things, lack of waterproofing and weather protection. And if that's true, that could be good. And the roof leak is definitely something. And you talked about other things like things that interfere with life, health, and safety, blah, blah, blah. So this letter is pretty good. What kind of response did you get to this letter?
So essentially, I was told they're basically looking for clarification on some of my demands.
And I don't blame them. And that's what I was going to say to you. While this is a good AI produced letter, it really doesn't get to the point. And I think that although you do have some demands, you contact me to discuss your plan. That's great. You commence repairs without delay and complete them. That's good. Provide temporary relocation if necessary, along with reimbursement, and then waive and abate rent for the period during which the unit has been uninhabitable. They don't have to do that, and that's not going to happen. That's not part of the law. But in any case, what did they want clarification on?
So in the point 3 of the demand, where it says provide temporary relocation if necessary, they're asking. So they're asking if I'm requesting this to take place now or only if another water leak occurs when it rains. In addition, requesting for expenses if you are displaced, or is this a separate request? And my thought process behind that is, if I have to vacate the premises, then any and all expenses incurred due to the vacation of the premises, whether that's food or
well, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. If you'd have to eat anyway, they don't have to pay for extra food. I mean, people make the mistake of thinking that life is a candy store, and it's not. If you are displaced, they don't have to buy your food, no more than they would have to buy your food where you're living. The only expenses you would be entitled to if you were displaced are extra expenses, not normal expenses. They don't have to buy you clothes. They don't have to feed you. They don't have to do anything. What they do have to do is provide suitable relocation premises for you to live in. But you'd have to buy food anyway. So there, listen, look at man, if you want these things fixed, if you want to know my honest to God opinion, what I think, Evan, is you actually went into too much detail and they don't understand what you want. And I understand why they're asking for clarification. So I would just make it very simple. I want this, this, and this fixed. It's untenable. It's uninhabitable with those things. And I want you to provide a place for me to stay while you're doing it. It's that simple. It's, at least they responded to you, which is pretty damn good. I mean, I think you're going to get somewhere with this.
Okay.
I do. I really do. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to respond, and they know that you know the law because you cited it. So their attorney would tell them, listen, this guy can use the rent money to do this if you don't. So why don't you just cooperate with them and make your demands much more simple? You're on the right track. By the way, I think you did a really good job. I mean, I just think that it might be a little overkill. They don't understand what you're saying. And I know that the AI did some of this, but I would make it very simple for them to understand. And right now, the way I understand it, you have an exposed floor and ceiling, and you have a right to have it fixed. Plus, the ongoing roof leak you want fixed. Totally agree. But I would make it more simple. I would even talk to them, but just document everything you talk about and send it to them after the conversation. You don't get the impression that they're just stonewalling you, do you? Or just, I don't think they're delaying. I think asking for clarification is a good thing. How long have you lived there?
I believe that I have been. I've lived there since April. So when they went in, where I was going before, when they went in to fix the fire sprinkler, that's when the ceiling came out and the floor got exposed.
Yeah.
And then I notified them of the roof leak on June 25th and of the danger to safety I had on that, considering it nearly missed my number or my mother, and I had cited that as well.
Yeah. And citing stuff that like that, it is relevant because what you're telling them, and this is where it's going to do, I hope you never use it, but by saying it posed a danger, they can't plead ignorance if someone does get hurt. And they know that. Let's say your mother does get hurt or you get hurt after telling them this. It's going to be hard for them to say, well, we didn't know it was that dangerous. So I think you're on the right track. I would just simplify it, and please stay in touch with us. By the way, Deputy D has come in, and Deputy D, we have Peter on the line, and we're going to go to him right after the break. He's with an HOA who is suing, not with an HOA, with a community, and they're suing Jason Pardykes. Peter Towski. Yeah, Peter. There's
Peter Towski, the attorney who's representing
Peter,
the
are you an attorney?
Yes, I am. I'm a partner at Robinson and Henry PC.
Okay, if you're an attorney, why did you tell me that? Did you try to tell me there's some kind of law that says he's not allowed to profit from his relationship?
CRS 7-128-501.
What does it
Conflicting
say?
Interest transaction.
Help me understand. What does that say, that law?
So Section 1 of that law, I'm going to skip ahead to the relevant part. It says, conflicting interest transaction means ... between the nonprofit corporation and an entity in which a director of the nonprofit corporation is a director or officer or has a financial interest.
Okay, so you're saying that any nonprofit organization that exists, they cannot do business with anyone with a connection.
What I'm saying is, if you're on the board of that nonprofit corporation, you can't make a contract with another company that you have a financial interest in without at least disclosing it to the rest of the board.
Positively, I agree with you 100%. Are you telling me that he never disclosed any association?
He openly and publicly denied having any association with Method Landscaping Company repeatedly.
Now, listen. They're lucky to have you. Are you part of the? By the way, are you part of the community? Did you live there, or did they hire you?
They hired me.
That is excellent because so many times we find it difficult to find attorneys that will take cases like this. If you would be so kind as to wait, I need to take this break because this Jason guy, he's accusing some other people who complain about him of not paying. And what we can find in public record is this is not Jason's first rodeo. It seems like he's involved in a lot of lawsuits. So we'll talk about that coming up. And I appreciate, Peter, you educating me on the situation. You're saying he never disclosed the connection and you believe he is the landscaping company. To me, that sounds like a good case. We'll talk about that and more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
If you are an architect, building engineer, supplier, developer, or contractor, you can't miss this off-site construction summit at the Colorado Convention Center in Denver on September 18th. With the rising cost of traditional building, modular and off-site construction is changing the way companies build. It's quicker, cheaper, and offers a faster ROI. This is your opportunity to learn from and connect with the industry's best. Don't miss it. Register today at offsiteconstructionnetwork.com. That's offsiteconstructionnetwork.com.
Do you know my daughter right now is going to pick up her car at Sheridan Auto Tech? They serviced it today, and then they serviced my car yesterday. And I believe in who I endorse. And Sheridan Auto Tech is a great company. If you need light maintenance and repairs, heavy maintenance and repairs, major stuff, or electrical issues, they can do it all. My daughter had an electrical issue that they helped with, and you can easily take advantage of Sheridan by simply calling them, and they have plenty of parking, convenient location on Colfax west of Wadsworth. It's a beautiful location. Again, 303-455-7242 for honest, dependable, and experienced auto repairs and a great value too. 303-455-7242. So that is actually amazing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so this is, when you have these kind of particles, they build up in the airway where people don't realize that. It kind of gives you a visual.
No, I know it. I mean, what I wonder is how many people, that's a good visual. How did you just happen to put that up there to?
Right, is I unscrewed your aerator.
Oh.
And then you should see that there's bigger chunks, and then I took this and right to the side.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to show you.
Do you do that to people when you go to their house?
That's why, see, I know you're not a fan of salt water, but a water softener goes hand in hand with everything.
No, it's not that I'm not a fan. It's just that it feels funny to me. I know what you're saying. Can you do that? But you can purify or filter the water too without softening it, can't you? I mean, I'm not saying people would, but you can.
The reason being, great questions, because that calcium that's there
on
the filter media.
Okay.
Prevents it from doing its job.
So you're just wasting your money.
So look up when you get some time. Carlo Acutis. It's amazing.
We ensure every company in our roster meets the highest standards. Homeowners find top home improvement pros. Contractors join a trusted network. Don't wait for summer. Visit TeamDaveLogan.com today, where your trusted home pro awaits. Man, I am happy to tell you about the only real pro that's made the cut for Team Dave Logan, and that is Troy Hansford. I recommend Troy because he's the only agent that will guarantee to sell your home at your price, or he'll write you a check for $5,000. And the good news, he puts that in writing. He can make that guarantee because he spends tens of thousands of dollars generating demand. And right now, he has hundreds of approved home buyers ready to buy. He just doesn't have enough houses. So if you have a house, Troy might have that perfect buyer for you right now. Give him a call, 720-900-4433. Let me give you a story. Just last week, Troy listed a house that was on the market for almost a month. You know what? Troy sold it for full price in less than a week. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash. and it can close in as little as 7 days. Call Troy and get your home sold for the most money. 720-900-4433. Again, that's 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford with Remax Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply. I'd like to take a minute and talk to you about Colorado Advanced Endovascular. You know, fellas, when we get a little bit older, enlarged prostates are pretty common, especially in men that are 50 years old. Frequent urination, weak stream. We all know the symptoms.
So this is an attorney, so he feels like he has a good case against him.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of HOA members suing
Yeah.
Now the HOA is just on bankruptcy period. And it's a big, it's
How do you go bankrupt when you have the ability to do a capital assessment?
interview Jason Paradise gave to that Post.
Wait, he talked to the Post?
Yes, it linked to that article yesterday.
Okay, so he has no problem talking about this.
I got an email.
Yeah, you told me that, right? And you said he has another side, and I read it. He said they haven't paid, and the only time they brought up a problem is when I asked to be paid.
That's according to him.
Yeah.
Reports, but he didn't address. I followed up with him this morning.
Oh, Dragon, you might want to add this to your little thing.
By the way, you know, when you were talking about
Illinois
the need for getting this out of the way, he had the same problem walking through there. So I'm glad I have that
To protect
clamp
our
coming.
water source now, ensure we have a sustainable drinking water supply for the future. Visit drinktap.org to learn more. This message is brought to you by the American Water Works Association and your local water provider.
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Peter is an attorney, and he is suing Jason Pardykes and BNS Construction. And he's suing them because he believes that Jason might have taken advantage of his association with the HOA board. Jason is on the board and did not disclose his connection with the landscaping company. Peter, can you explain more of that?
Sure, Tom. Just to clarify, so we filed a motion to amend the complaint to add Jason Pardykes, his wife Angela Pardykes, BNS Construction LLC, and a number of others with some additional claims that are beyond what was additionally alleged in the lawsuit. So that amendment is pending because since then, the HOA actually filed for bankruptcy. Long story short, the HOA contracted with this landscaping company that had just been created in March of 2019, and the homeowners were concerned that the contract originally called for a payment of some $26,000, and ultimately, over the course of a year or more, Method Landscaping Company was paid over $200,000 by the Homeowners Association. This obviously raised some eyebrows and some red flags, and people started looking into whether there was a connection there.
Right. Peter, was any work done for that $200,000, like snow removal or anything, or was it just payments made for nothing?
Landscaping was done, and there was trail restoration done. However, we believe that over $150,000 went to Jason Pardykes and his wife, as well as some number of thousands of dollars went to BNS Construction as well, directly from Method Landscaping Company's bank account.
Now, are you aware of other legal hassles that Jason is having? Like, for example, the homeowner that called us, they said they're out $380,000 and only part of the work was done. Are you aware of other problems?
I heard your segment yesterday, so I'm aware of that. And I have seen that Jason has been involved in other lawsuits, but I'm not aware of the details particularly.
I want to ask Dimitri. Dimitri, what did you find out about him?
Peter, yesterday I encountered a lawsuit that Mr. and Mrs. Pardykes filed just in May against certain HOA members at Todd Creek
accusing them of, besmirching their reputation in an effort to drive them out of the
Denying
neighborhood.
he has any connection to the landscape.
Well, that's a separate lawsuit. It sounds like Mr. Pardykes.
I know, but he's suing them because they made the accusation that he's associated.
That's what it looked like to me.
He sued 6 plaintiffs in the derivative lawsuit that I represent them in for defamation, and actually they were all dismissed. That defamation lawsuit was dismissed quite summarily because it was absolutely baseless.
Oh, congratulations!
It sounded that to me. It sounded like he was angry and filed the lawsuits. So where does the case go now? Where is the case right now?
So the derivative suit in the state court case is actually stayed at the moment because in July, as we were getting very close, we were about to have a hearing on a determination for whether or not the plaintiffs could have access to Method Landscaping Company's bank records. The HOA actually filed for bankruptcy. So the case is in federal bankruptcy court right now.
Okay. And then you talked to Jason. Right?
Well, I didn't talk to him on the phone. He sent me an email this morning. This is strictly regarding yesterday's call from the consumer who alleges that he took $380,000 and walked off the job before it was finished. He didn't address a couple of allegations like didn't pull a single permit, provided really low quality work, didn't finish the job. He just said, hey, this homeowner owes me money, so that's why we walked off the job. I sent him another email this morning asking for further comment on the rest of the allegations, and so far I haven't received a response from Jason Pardykes.
Peter, I would ask this of any caller, and I understand the proprieties of the law, and he was supposed to disclose stuff, but was work done for that amount, or are you alleging that it was puffed up or bloated and these prices were out of touch with reality? In other words, could they have hired another company to do the same work for much less? Or are you just saying he didn't disclose it? I mean, in other words, how far does it go? The money that was paid.
Well, Tom, I think the facts kind of speak for themselves. If Method Landscaping Company was paid over $200,000, over $220,000, and then Jason Pardykes personally benefited because $150,000 plus was transferred to him, then I would say that the implication is clear that it should have been done for less, or at the very least, he profited where he shouldn't have.
Okay, I understand. And now on the bankruptcy, was it just this case or this landscaping contract, or are there other? Does the HOA just have a bunch of problems financially?
It's interesting because I don't think the HOA does have other problems financially. They actually came out publicly and said this is not a matter of financial mismanagement. This is a tactic to end the state court litigation.
Okay.
Peter, I think so. I encountered several articles, one in the Denver Post and another one of the local TV stations that interviewed Mr. Pardykes. And he said that he, as the president of the association, said that this litigation has cost the association almost $1 million so far. And he blames this cost of litigation on the association's, or for the association's bankruptcy. Does that sound?
I can't believe they spent $1 million.
According to this article, Mr. Pardykes said it cost $960,000 or $980,000 at the time the article was written.
For what lawsuit?
So the lawsuit was filed in 2023. This is the derivative lawsuit. And I believe that that's true. I mean, this has been going on for over 2 years.
Wow.
And ultimately what this comes down to is bank records, right? If they, and we were about to have a hearing on whether or not the plaintiffs were entitled to these bank records, the HOA and Mr. Pardykes' representatives have done everything in their power to avoid that possibility. And yes, I believe they probably have spent close to that amount of money, all to avoid turning over bank records that would either vindicate or inculpate Mr. Pardykes.
So I guess I'm not clear. So Peter, who do you represent? You don't represent the HOA.
No, he represents the HOA members that are suing Mr. and Mrs. Pardykes and the association.
Okay.
Yeah, and it sounds like what Peter said is the HOA bankruptcy under Mr. Pardykes' leadership was a strategic move to prevent Peter and the plaintiffs from accessing the bank records.
So Jason and company are trying to keep discovery and the lawsuit from progressing by filing for bankruptcy, and Peter is representing individual members.
That's an infuriating.
Is that right, Peter?
That's an infuriating tactic.
That's correct. So I represent the plaintiffs who are suing derivatively on behalf of the HOA, which means they represent the interests of the HOA, which a judge actually ruled on that issue earlier in the litigation. The HOA said, well, most of the members of the HOA don't believe in this lawsuit, blah, blah, blah. And we had a hearing and there were motions filed, and the judge said, no, these homeowners absolutely do represent the interests of the HOA, whether the other members realize it or not.
Okay. So are you trying to get the bankruptcy discharged or dismissed? I mean, dismissed is the proper word. Discharged would mean it goes through. Are you trying to show that the bankruptcy is not legit or what?
So we actually have another attorney that we're working with who is representing the homeowners in the bankruptcy, and there has been a motion to dismiss filed, but there's a lot of procedural things that are happening at the moment.
All right. Well, thank you for all of the information. Is there anything else you want to add? I want to make sure I get it out there.
No, I think that's it, Tom.
All right. Thank you very much, Peter. He's representing homeowners, and the homeowners of Todd Creek Farms are actually suing their own HOA and Jason Pardykes and his wife for mismanagement of funds. That's it in a nutshell.
Well, I would say more accurately, not mismanagement, but what they allege is that the Pardykes have funneled, according to Peter, between $100,000 and $150,000 from this landscaping contract into their own pockets.
And he's saying that Jason is trying to dismiss, or excuse me, trying to delay or get rid of the litigation through this bankruptcy.
Yeah, if I understood Peter correctly, the bankruptcy was simply a strategic move to prevent Peter and his clients from accessing the association's bank records. And Tom, my question for Mr. Pardykes is, hey, if you're innocent and these bank records will vindicate you, show the plaintiffs the bank records. So why would he stand in the way?
And then on the case of the construction,
that's
claims that he was perfectly willing to finish the job under contract, but was not paid.
If I could summarize his email, it would be, hey, the only thing that went wrong with the job is the consumer who called you yesterday wasn't paying my bills. So we warned him a bunch of times we had to walk off the job, but he didn't address the other primary concerns that our caller had, which is not only did our caller say that the job was shoddily done, but even more troubling was not a single permit.
Right. So again, we're trying to get a hold of Jason Pardykes to find out more. But right now, it doesn't look good. I mean, there are a lot of allegations going on against this guy. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
To answer your question.
The letter N? Okay.
This is Denver's talk station with Tom Martino now. Michael Brown tomorrow morning at 6:30 KHOW Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's.
Yeah, it's a nice quiet mid-morning drive leading into the lunch hour. No big problem spots. Dry Creek and Clinton came in a few minutes ago down to the south, and over in southwest Denver, Federal and Kentucky should be clearing one up also. Pena is running a little heavy out of the airport.
Thank you, brother.
Power back to I-70, 270, a little bit of company there out of Commerce City, and southbound 25 coming into downtown. Even northbound is kind of bunched up a little bit right around 6th Avenue, but no major difficulties with traffic. I'm Jonathan Steele.
Get two #1 selling bacon cheeseburgers and fast food. Wendy's JBC, plus medium fries and soft drink for just $8. Total game changer. Order today, limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Request $8 JBC meal deal to obtain discount. Claim per independent marketing research company.
The time has never been better to do a solar system if you have a commercial operation. Now, you might have a home-based business that qualifies, an agribusiness, or you might have a strip mall or an apartment house, And if you go with Red Rocks Roof and Solar, they can show you how to get this paid for, almost all of it paid for through government subsidies. And in addition to that, you can make money by selling to the end user or back to the grid. Find out more from Red Rocks Roof and Solar, redrocksrs.com, 303-704-2449.
South Monaco Street.
Okay, so.
Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home first on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then once you're all settled in, your Orchard agent helps sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one Orchard customer said. I never could have sold without Orchard. I made way more than I expected, and it couldn't have been easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's orchard.com. Orchard.com. The Medicare enrollment period runs from October 15th to December 7th. Don't guess what your Medicare plan is going to cover next year or what it'll cost. Both could change a lot. The good people at Integrity Health Advisors would be glad to offer you a no-cost, personalized plan review so you don't get caught by unexpected changes. Integrity Health Advisors is a trusted local source of Medicare resources and not tied to any one carrier so they can find the right plan for you. Get started today at integrityhealthadvisors.com. Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. And if you have QD, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You can even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Are you tired of the stock market roller coaster? How much money can you afford to lose in your retirement account? I'm consumer advocate Marc Mager. I want to tell you about the Guaranteed Income Account, a retirement plan that offers a 15% bonus, long-term care benefits, and guarantees you'll never lose any principal. If you have an old 401k or just want to diversify into a retirement account that is guaranteed never to lose money, check out mymoneymyway.com. That's mymoneymyway.com.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He
Landlord tries to fund them.
regenerative treatments using healing properties from his own body. QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986. Do you know what you will never hear when using Frank Duran, the real estate man?
No gimmicks, no fluff, and no play on words. Your best interest is what's important to me.
That's Frank, and he guarantees results.
I back you up with a true written performance guarantee.
Backed by a team of experts for over
Yeah.
deal.
I'm with you every
Thanks.
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. 303-920-1622. With RE/MAX Alliance.
Don't trust your biggest financial investment with just anyone.
Hurt in a car crash? Get John Fuller on your side. Call Fuller.com.
When something makes you say, what?
Social Security accounts belonging to people listed over 120
Did you know Safeway's closing all of their stores?
Yeah, they tried to. Albertson, they tried to move from King Super.
Are they going out of business? Wow.
This is just crazy. The Where is here. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. By the way, a question comes up a lot with warranty on habitability on rental credit. In the past, the courts have looked at this, and I'm not giving you legal advice, but normally, if the conditions of the apartment are such that they're a pain in the ass and they, it's security or something, but you're still living there and you're still getting the benefit of a shelter and you're not having to go elsewhere to live, normally you don't get a rental credit just because. Now, if a substantial part of the apartment could not be used, or you had to go somewhere to take showers, or you couldn't prepare food, you would possibly be entitled to some kind of credit. And that's up to the law, the common law determined by the judge in that case. There are no statutes that I know of, and certainly the habitability statute does not directly address a rental credit. It only addresses what to do if you have a problem. The landlord is not addressing the problems. First of all, it has to be a legit problem. Then it's a problem the landlords are not addressing. And then you can apply rent to the repairs. So many people just withhold rent and they end up getting evicted, and rightly so. The law does not allow you to just take matter into your own hands and to hold the rent. All right. So another important thing, by the way, is we had a call the other day on a dog being off leash and another dog being off leash, and they got into a fight probably at a dog park. I'm not sure. And one of the owners was pissed off and filed a complaint on the owner, and the owner now has to face, and she's going there today, I believe, for a vicious dog. Someone wrote to me and said they had something similar happen, and the other person, a man in this case, filed a complaint against her for a vicious dog, and then she filed a complaint against that guy. Therefore, they were kind of like canceled out, basically, is what she's saying. And she said that this woman should not just go and defend herself, but should also complain about the other dog. In a situation where two dogs are off leash and they get into fights, it's almost impossible for animal control to call one the fault, say it's the fault of one dog, unless that dog has a history of problems. And again, that would be up to, does the dog have a criminal record or not, is what we're asking. 303-713-8255. I have Paul the Waterman with me, and he used my restroom, and then he said, look what came out of your sink. He said, if you go and look at the aerator on most sinks and taps, what will you find, Paul? What will you find on those?
You'll find particles. That's calcium carbonate that's oxidized. So if you unscrew the aerator, you'll see a whole bunch of chunks and thick particles.
Is that only when people have hard water you see that?
Absolutely.
So what is that? That's the hardness of the water. Those are the minerals?
That's right. That's calcium.
And you're drinking that.
And so water, absolutely. And so that can also add to the taste and to the smell of the water.
But is it unhealthy though?
So here's the thing. You're going to have particles that can attach to those. So I think personally water is unhealthy anyway, but based on all the contamination plus the chlorination.
But the hardness itself
can create kidney stones, gallstones, and glaucoma. We do not absorb minerals in water. Water is inorganic. The minerals in water is inorganic. So there's no beneficial minerals in water.
Now, I was also told that that unhealthy water, of course, can build up over time. But So to really have the best water, you have to do more than filtration.
I recommend water salt.
Filtration doesn't get rid of the hardness.
Correct. And hardness builds up on the filter. Is anybody out there have a refrigerator or been to somebody's home where you see the refrigerator and the water dispenser and all the buildup?
Yes.
Okay.
They have it.
Okay, so that's hard water. And so that filter isn't doing its job. The calcium has encompassed that filter, and so now your filter isn't filtering.
By the way, I had a hot water valve on the tub, and the water came out as a trickle, and the cold water came out fine. And I thought, well, it can't be restricted because, I get hot water all over the house. And the plumber explained to me from Fix It 24/7. He said, there are cartridges in every valve that you have.
Correct.
On and off. There's a cartridge,
and
and
gets
hot
plugged.
water.
Yep.
Hot water accumulates minerals faster than cold water. Why is that?
Well, because it's the oxidizing process, and the hot water is a 40 or 50 gallon tank that's going to be allowed to build up. That's why total chlorine
He
content.
said that the local cartridge, can build up with minerals, and so when you have a sink and one of them is slow, it could be from that cartridge being gunked up with minerals. And he said,
warm water
happening.
Yeah, warm water basically helps the oxidizing of the hardness. So hardness is a liquid, and as it oxidizes, it converts to the scale.
And then that's what gunks up your pipes and stuff.
Correct.
Can it also cause, somebody wants to know on a text, they have a pin, they keep getting pinhole leaks in their pipes. Now that can't be caused by the water.
That's electrolysis. So we'd be more than happy to come out and do a water test for them, but that's electrolysis.
What does that mean?
That means that here in Colorado, you can have acidic water, and the electrolysis basically eats through the pipes from the inside out.
Really?
Yeah. If it goes
right through the solder.
Right. Absolutely correct. Do an inspection on those copper pipes. If you see discoloration, you see green or sometimes black greasy bumps, that's exactly what's happening.
And can that be prevented?
That can absolutely be prevented, yes.
Okay, so in any case, so that's the case with that particular one. If you see any discoloration, I've seen houses before where you see this discoloration, and that's literally from the water.
From the water, right. So in some cases, like Monument in Black Forest area, the water is naturally aggressive and corrosive. In other cases, you can have an older home where, remember, we used to have phone lines.
Yeah.
Okay, and those phone lines are pretty much all gone. So normally what they would do when they install the jack is that they would go to the nearest copper pipe and attack, the ground wire.
The ground.
Okay.
That's how they ground the wire.
So in some, you could have, in theory, an electric current. If that outside phone line is no longer maintained properly, it could send an electric current to that pipe that is creating the electrolysis.
No, I understand. Like a water tank, for example, a hot water tank can actually set up a current.
Correct.
From the water to the tank.
Yes.
And that current, so it becomes like a battery. There's mini voltage being generated, and it eats away at the tank.
That's it. And so you could have that same scenario.
And that's from the minerals in the water.
Well, and then what can happen too is aggressive water can be really common, and we fix it by adding a neutralizer. But that's why Colorado water quality is a mixed bag of nuts.
All right, I gotta take a break. I'm sorry. We got more coming right up.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why did you
now impact traffic from the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center?
This report is sponsored by Red Pilled America.
Yeah, it's a nice quiet mid-morning drive leading into the lunch hour. No big problem spots. Dry Creek and Clinton came in a few minutes ago down to the south, and over in southwest Denver, Federal and Kentucky should be clearing one up.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
I did put smaller
shares
on purpose
power
back
to I-70. 270, a little bit of company there out of Commerce City, and southbound 25 coming into downtown. Even northbound, it's kind of bunched up a little bit right around 6th Avenue, but no major difficulties with traffic. I'm Jonathan Steele.
This week on Red Pilled America, what role has Hollywood played in American crime? To find the answer, we tell the story of how a musical movement born in the late 80s impacted urban America. Listen to Red Pilled America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pilled America, a storytelling show.
The Art of Granite.com. They'll give you prices on the phone right now. If you like the price, they come and measure at your house in template, and then 3 or 4 weeks later, you have new countertops in plenty of time for Thanksgiving. A lot of people ask that. They do granite or any natural stone or man-made material. All you have to do is give them a call and get your price. Theartofgranite.com. By the way, they also have other incentives like free granite in the bathroom when you have the kitchen done, or a free sink or backsplash. Call for your price and for the incentive this week at 303-386-5919, 386-5919.
Can't believe we're getting that time of year already, Brad.
Honest to God,
No.
this year has flown, for me especially because of all the treatment I've had. I've not had a normal, not anything normal. Oh, I better run and get that.
Is that your doorbell?
No, it's not. He's just... he's such a fucking child.
Where's Princess?
She's been around.
Just said hi to her a couple times.
We can hear her.
How's Deputy Doc doing?
He's at home working. Come on, this is bullshit.
Jeez, is it noon already?
Hmm?
It's almost noon already?
Yeah.
You know, have you ever thought, isn't it kind of ironic?
What's that?
That you and Rush Limbaugh shows long-time personalities dealt with cancer.
Did he deal with cancer?
He died of cancer.
He did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, did he? Anyway, I was just thinking about that the other day. You both, you both were on the same time slot.
I knew Rush.
They really need to like fix the air in here.
Visit drinktap.org to learn more. This message is brought to you by the American Waterworks Association and your local water provider.
Hi, Tom Martino. You know, I have been looking at the iPhone 17 and I'm wondering what is different. They seem to come out with different iPhones, and some of them have bigger advances than others. But while looking into it, I was also looking at carriers. I have AT&T, and I have spotty coverage in certain areas. And I started looking into carriers. You're not going to believe what I found. This is unbelievable to me. AT&T has the worst coverage and the worst consistency in an independent survey. And wait till I tell you who has the best. I didn't even know they had their own network, but I'm going to talk about the speed score, the coverage, the 5G availability coming up. Plus, we're talking water. If you have any questions on water systems, 303-713-8255.
It's just but he's also a weird one because he likes to have all this weight on him.
It's 72. Not even 71. It's 72.
Yeah, it's freezing in here.
God.
Why do you continue to interview Steve Ray? Just let it go. Well, it's just like last night. So we get off the show and we all go to dinner over at La Loma Mexican restaurant. Really good, but they just don't have their shit together yet. Um, but I get in there and there's this is how in tune my husband is with me because I choose a seat and he's like, "No, there's a fan. You need to sit over here." I was like, "You know what? You're right. I wouldn't have been happy over there." Meanwhile, Sheriff and George Brockler were like, "Oh my God, it's so freaking hot right now. Can you open the window?" And I'm like, "Please don't. Please don't." I mean, I wasn't lying when I walked in here on Monday and I was like pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, when it was 80 degrees in
Uh huh.
here.
85 at one point. Yeah, the only problem was the equipment was malfunctioning. I don't know. I guess.
Investigators have not yet identified the victim whose remains were found inside the Tesla registered to the singer known as David. The LA County Medical Examiner says it has determined the highly decomposed remains
Does he think
belong
he's
to a
Cher?
woman who had wavy black hair. She was wearing a tube top and black leggings, but they cannot determine a race or even an eye color.
Oh, this is
David
weird.
performed in Minneapolis on Tuesday night. Police say how the woman died is not yet clear. Nobody has been
I gotta eat
arrested.
something.
Alex Stone,
I
ABC
just
News,
don't want to
Los
eat.
Angeles.
As an organ donor, your story doesn't have to end.
KCAL News Time, 12:03. The plan to build a new Broncos stadium in Burnham Yard will transform an abandoned rail yard into a fully developed neighborhood of retail and housing. Officials will work with the residents in the area to create a small area plan for Burnham Yard, which could include housing, parks, open spaces, shopping, and other amenities. City Councilwoman Jimmy Torres.
What comes next, how tall buildings are, what kinds of uses go in. The Broncos will likely be going through their own plan of what do they want to develop on their particular property.
Once the new stadium is open for the 2031 season, the current Mile High Stadium and surrounding parking lots will be redeveloped with new housing,
I think
parks,
this is a
community
waste of
spaces,
money.
and more.
Just
A
my
Boulder
opinion.
man is recovering after being attacked by a bear. Colorado Parks and Wildlife says the man was walking his two dogs along High Street Sunday night. A bear and her cub reportedly charged at the man. He fell while running away. The bear slashed him across the back, leaving superficial wounds. That's the latest.
No, she's protecting. It's a mother protecting her baby. You know. Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, still a little iffy on I-35 coming into downtown. We'll have a crash, in fact, northbound at 6. It's off to the shoulder. They say the flow from Broadway pushing in up towards that. Well, southbound at 35 has been tied up also. Heavy coming in from 68 from I-70 down through Spear. That's the slow-to-go stoppage that is being developed. 8270 is running a little heavy. 10 looks pretty good right now. No delays to or from the airport. With traffic, I'm John Cecile.
This week on Red Pill America, what role has Hollywood played in American crime? To find the answer, we tell the story of how a musical movement born in the late 80s impacted urban America. Listen to Red Pill America on the iHeartRadio app. That's Red Pill America, the storytelling show.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
September 19th and 20th at T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas. Streaming live only on Hulu.
Limited tickets still available at AXS.com.
Get yours while you still can.
Lenovo at the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Tech that hits different. Can your gear keep up with the beat? Lenovo PCs are built for creators, dreamers, and fans who don't hit pause. Visit Lenovo.com for the latest in AI PCs and game-changing tech.
Finally getting warm.
To live off-grid, Red Rocks Roof and Solar is the only company specializing in these special standalone systems with battery backup and auxiliary generators. With Red Rocks Solar, you get sales, installation, and service. Complete solar. Red Rocks Roof and Solar. Locally owned and operated by a veteran. Honesty and integrity. 303-704-2449. 704-2449. RedRocksRS.com. Need a new roof? Call Excel Roofing at 303-761-6400. You're great at protecting your own personal information. You probably even use things like two-factor authentication, strong passwords, VPN. But as much as you try to be in control of how your information is protected, there's lots of places that also have it. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every single second for identity threats. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock specialist is going to help solve the identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
It's the John Kapla Show. Afternoons 4 to 6.
John Caldera, Independence Institute, filling in for Dan. Will he talk Star Trek, Gilligan's Island, the Beatles, or will he hit all three for the trifecta? Tune in to find out Wednesday at 4 on the Dan Kapla Show.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show, the only show that talks about everyday aches and pains, the things that make you tick, the things that tick you off. By the way, Safeway's closing 10 stores in Colorado, 4 in the Denver metro area. A lot of people think Safeway is in trouble and will be gone. That's not great news. Of course, they weren't allowed to merge with Albertsons for some reason. And Kroger is definitely the big boy on the block. But anyway, Safeway is closing 10 stores. In other consumer news, did you ever wonder who has the best coverage? Well, as far as coverage, it's really weird. With coverage, Verizon has the best coverage, followed by AT&T with the actual network, followed by T-Mobile. But in every other matrix, T-Mobile kicks ass. And I don't know why, but it does. T-Mobile, for example, for speed, is way faster than Verizon and AT&T. Way faster. When it comes to 5G availability, even though the others have bigger networks, as far as 5G, again, T-Mobile. You know, I never really considered T-Mobile, but it's really making good marks in independent testing. In coverage, it falls behind, but the other ones, the only reason the other ones have better coverage is they don't do just 5G. They do other coverage as well, whereas T-Mobile basically put everything they have into 5G. That's why they have the fastest network and they have the best 5G availability. So somebody said that they beg to differ with me and that it is the iPhone 17 has a lot of improvements. Again, I probably get a new phone about every 3 upgrades, because I think they make such small upgrades to get you to buy. Now, we had questions on long-term care insurance, okay? Long-term care insurance has some people said, you forgot to mention what is the definition of needing long-term care to where the coverage kicks in. Most policies say that you have to be deficient in certain acts. For example, you can't perform 2 of the 6 long-term care requirements. For example, bathing, dressing, eating, toileting, transferring, and continence. If you fail in 2 of those areas, like you can't bathe or dress yourself, that would be considered that would be considered enough to qualify for long-term care. Or if you are not eating by yourself and you're incontinent. So any 2 of the 6 ADLs, and that's what they call it, ADL. And so here's what it is. The activities of daily living, ADLs, are how they judge you for long-term care. So bathing, dressing, eating, going to the toilet. I don't know what transferring means. I think it means from the couch to a chair to the car to the house, whatever. And then continence is another one. So if you have cognitive impairment like Alzheimer's or dementia, that is also qualifying for long-term care. Long-term care should cover the nursing home, room and board, or skilled care. Some of them cover assisted living. Others only cover part of assisted living, like maybe meals and medication reminders and certain personal help. In-home care can be provided by long-term care in some cases for personal aides, visiting nurses, and occupational therapists. Adult daycare is sometimes covered by long-term care. Hospice care is sometimes covered. And then home modifications can actually be covered by long-term care. So what you really need to do is really get someone who's an expert at this. Kelly, we were going to get someone on about this because I've had a few calls on it. Is she not available?
So we talked to John Jones Jr., and he gave me, her name is Rona Unsell, sorry. I left a message for her and she hasn't contacted me back yet.
Okay. Now, most long-term care policies exclude care that is provided by family members. So if you think you're going to hire your son or daughter to take care of you and pay them out of long-term care, that's not going to work. They have to be licensed caregivers. Care outside of approved facilities. So there's only approved facilities that will pay, and it must be on their list. And some long-term care policies might have a bigger list than others. So keep that in mind. It must be an approved facility, and home care must be by licensed caregivers. Also, they don't cover experimental treatments or non-medical care or supplements or things like that. And nothing is covered for drug and alcohol abuse or self-inflicted injuries. So keep that in mind for long-term care. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I have Jim, who has a question for Water Pros. Jim, go ahead. Welcome to the show. I'm Tom Martino. What's going on, Jim?
Thank you. I'm getting ready to drill a water well in northern Wisconsin, and I know both of my neighbors have had problems with iron. One of them had a problem with sulfur and silty sand in the well, and I'm wondering what Paul would recommend as far as filtration.
I wanted to ask in general. It used to be, and then I'll ask specifically for you. Paul, it used to be that well water was considered good water, right? I mean, because it doesn't come from the city, it's not contaminated, but that's not necessarily so. It depends on where you get your well, where the well draws from, right?
Correct. And, he's back in the Midwest where there's, limestone is huge. And so it's ferrous iron. Iron is very common.
So what would you do to condition or treat water coming from a well?
Well, in his situation, you need a dual tank water softener. Because
why dual tank?
Well, the tanks alternate, but it takes clean water from one tank to backwash the other tank.
Okay.
A single tank system wouldn't work. If you got iron and you're using a single tank water softener, that iron's going to oxidize during the backwashing process. And so resin removes the iron before it oxidizes. It's called ferrous iron, so resin loves it. And then you need to have a source of clean water, to rinse and get rid of the iron.
So basically, I want to put this in real easy terms.
Yes.
If you have iron in your water, it's not like particles of iron. It's just iron.
It's iron. It's clear water iron that once air comes in contact with it, turns color and gets orange. So I did a YouTube video on it. There's old technology out there over 50 years old where it's a non-electric unit, and it can't, it doesn't handle bad water today. Once iron oxidizes, it follows the filter medium.
Exposure to air?
Exactly, that's it.
So once he takes it out of the well, it's oxidized.
Right. So anytime you take a glass of water and you let it sit, that iron's going to precipitate out of the water and set on the bottom of the glass. Normally,
if you drink it, is it harmful? It's
not harmful. It all depends on how high the iron content. My great grandmother went to her house as a kid. The water tasted like rusty nails. It's clear, but it tasted like rust.
Have you tasted the water where you're going to be putting a well, Jim?
My neighbors drink it all the time.
And do they condition it, or do they just drink it? In addition to iron, what else
is? It's got a sediment filter is all.
Is sulfur harmful in the water?
Sulfur, high sulfates can be harmful. Absolutely correct. So you want to, first thing you want to do is do the water test. And high iron content can confuse and smell like sulfur. That's rotten eggs. Sulfur usually can be H2S gas, sulfur gas. Sulfur by itself is black. And those particles that we pulled out of your aerator, sulfur builds up inside the aerator and creates a smell. But I think most what he's dealing with, I'm going to, because I lived in Illinois, is high iron content. High iron content builds up in the pipes and will give you that sulfur smell.
And to get rid of high iron content, you would have a dual tank system.
I would recommend a dual tank system, absolutely.
So it flushes. You clean the water with water.
Exactly. You clean the media with clean water.
Okay, so in other words, the water goes through the media, the filter media.
Yeah.
Then you backwash the filter media
with clean water.
Okay, got it. So you're.
Now, what if
Go ahead, sir.
what if the dual tank water softener is not a preferred option? Is there another type of filter that would?
Unfortunately, a great question.
You just change the filter media instead of backwashing it. Isn't it too expensive?
No, great questions. One, you got to be careful. Remember, well pumps aren't designed to pump against resistance, number one. Number two, any kind of inline filter will slow the water flow rate down and the iron will oxidize, build up inside that filter housing. So if there's media out there, but the problem is that most of that media is really heavy and it doesn't lift during backwashing. And what's the water production going to be? How many gallons per minute is that well pump?
Your flow rate could be very, very low when you try to push it through a filter.
Exactly. Or your flow rate from the well's too low that it won't support. There's iron filter media out there, sir, but you need to have a minimum of 9 gallons per minute to backwash that.
And most filters will not let 9 gallons per minute go.
Well, that, and also most wells out there, it all depends, in your pump size, won't produce 9 gallons per minute either.
I often wondered why more wells don't do holding tanks where you can draw from.
Well, you could, but then again, all that iron will oxidize inside that holding tank, and it's going to be a messy, situation to try to filter. It's better to get the iron out of solution first.
What do these cost, these dual tank systems, to basically soften well water?
Well, $4,500.
Jim, do you have any professionals out there that have given you opinions on your water?
Well, there is. The neighbor did install a filter system, and there's a company up here that does that kind of thing.
Is it a filter system where you change? Is it a filter system where you change the filter, or where the filter is backwashed and reused?
You change the filter.
How often do they have to change?
I honestly don't know. The problem I have with the dual tank water softener is this is a part-time home, and in the winter, shut everything down, and there's no heat.
No. So here's your situation then. The best thing you could do is try a carbon filter, but carbon will absorb iron, but that carbon can expire quickly. So if
he doesn't live there,
so then what you're going to want to do then is get a water test, see what the iron measures in part per million, and then you could put a carbon filter in, but just realize that you're going to have to change it quite often. And
what do you mean by quite often?
Well, so carbon basically is a sponge. Quite often,
not science, but just
every 3 months.
Okay, that's if you live there,
or every month, based upon how high the iron content is.
Okay, how much are those filters?
Well, you could put a filter housing in, for $150, $200, but that, on the side note, that's what I was saying, Tom. Once those filters plug up, then your well pump is pumping against resistance,
and you could burn out your pump.
Burn up your
pump.
All
right, we have more coming up. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino, 303-713-8255. Have you put a well
Wearing a
systems
CPAP
in?
can be very, very difficult. The mask, bulky, and it leaks air. The hose makes it difficult to sleep, and it's not all that convenient when you're trying to travel. Also, just the rigmarole of having to set up everything before bed. Sasa Clinics provide an effective and comfortable CPAP and surgery alternative. Easy and convenient home sleep testing. And the diagnosis comes from a board-certified sleep physician. Visit sasaclinics.com. That's SASA clinics.com, or call 303-879-4278. Stop snoring. Start sleeping. Live life.
DiscountBath.com. Discount Bath, what a name for a company. It tells you exactly what they do, and they want you to put them to the test. In fact, they're so confident you'll love the price, they don't even have to come to your house. Go to discountbath.com, and you get an upload link there. What is an upload link? It's where you can take video and send it to them under your name. Then they'll take a look at what you video cammed with your camera with your smartphone, and they'll send you a price. For example, take the smartphone and say, I want to do this. I want to walk in shower here. I want to move the vanity. I want a twin vanity. I want to move this wall. I want to move the toilet. Whatever you want to do in that bath, put it on your smartphone, upload it to discountbath.com, and they give you a price. Call them if you have any questions, 720-979-2322. Hey, I'll tell you what, you will have questions if you ever get into an accident. For you or your loved ones, your passengers, you have all kinds of questions. Whose fault is it? Can I collect on this? How much is it worth? Yes, these are realistic questions people have all the time. When it comes to personal injury, John Fuller will answer your questions without you ever having to be a client or sign up to be a client. Most PI attorneys won't do that. They want you to sign up first, not John. You call John, ask any questions you have, and if you decide to hire him, it's on a percentage fee basis. 303-597-4500, 597-4500.
Hi, I'm Gary Bell of the law firm of Bell and Pollock. We are injury attorneys, and this is your legal minute. Let's talk about myths. Let's talk about myths in this business. You've been rear-ended. You've been injured. One myth is you think, surely there's insurance. Surely that's what insurance is for. Some insurance companies are willing to pay me. That's a myth. They're going to fight you. This is going to be a war.
I love these guys.
Strategy and a legal game plan to
They're
win the war.
unlistenable, but
Our website, championsofthepeople.com, we wrote a book entitled Legal Game. Why? Because insurance companies have strategies against you. You need your own strategy or strategies to beat them and to win the war.
Sorry if I get too technical sometimes.
No, it's okay, but we have to be really, we really have to dumb it down.
Man, I'm happy to tell you about the only realtor that made the cut for Team Dave Logan, and that is Troy Hansford. I recommend Troy because he's the only agent that will guarantee to sell your home at your price, and he'll write you a check for $5,000. And the good news, he puts that in writing. He can make that guarantee because he spends tens of thousands of dollars generating demand. And right now, he has hundreds of approved home buyers ready to buy. He just doesn't have enough houses. So if you have a house, Troy might have that perfect buyer for you right now. Give him a call, 720-900-4433. Let me give you a story. Just last week, Troy listed a house that was on the market for almost a month. You know what? Troy sold it for full price in less than a week. And if for any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash, and he can close in as little as 7 days. Call Troy and get your home sold for the most money. 720-900-4433. Again, that's 720-900-4433. Troy Hansford with Remax Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply.
Get the best deal anywhere on countertops from theartofgranite.com. Any natural stone or man-made material, they do it all. Plus, you get a free backsplash, free sinks, a free cutting board, and a free bathroom vanity. Free tear-out and haul away is always included, and always materials at cost. Even better now, 10% off labor for a limited time. Get prices on the phone, 303-386-5919. 386-5919, theartofgranite.com.
When was your last hearing test? Most people consistently check their eyes, teeth, and even their cholesterol. But decades can go by without people giving any thought to their ears. Here's the problem. Hearing loss often starts slowly, and by the time it's obvious, it's already affecting your brain, relationships, and confidence. Early detection is critical to your overall well-being. So if you honestly can't remember the last time you had your hearing checked, it's time. Visit us at soundrelief.com. That's soundrelief.com. Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One.
National Women's Soccer League, the North Carolina Courage have agreed to trade U.S. national team midfielder Jalen Shaw to Gotham FC for $1.25 million. It's one of the largest global transfers on Black Earth. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Weekday with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcast.
Capital One is a founding partner of iHeart Women's Sports Network. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn all of your purchases into extraordinary travel. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This hour from the Trajan Well
Local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, I'll bet you think intermittent fasting is good for you. You think so, Deputy D?
Absolutely. After about 14 hours, you enter autophagy, which is one of the healthiest states you can
The
experience.
first large-scale study of its kind raises serious red flags about intermittent fasting. It was a study done with 19,000 adults. It found that those who confine their eating to less than 8 hours a day faced a 135% higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. Here's what they say: confine your eating to 12 hours, not to 8 hours. 8 hours, they say, for some reason, has an elevated cardiovascular risk, which means based on a person's health, lifestyle, and medical data, they have more of a chance of developing heart-related problems or stroke. Now, again, I didn't do the study. They say there is a benefit to intermittent fasting the right way. What I don't understand is how can it make that much difference if you confine your eating to 8 hours or you confine your eating to 12 hours? That part I don't understand. Why is it that when the people who confine their eating to a lesser time of day, and you're saying that should have more benefits, right?
Oh, absolutely. The benefits really don't start until you don't eat for 14 hours, and then they just get greater and greater.
And that's okay.
So if you confine your eating to 12 hours, you're only giving
Where are you
yourself.
getting the data? This research was done. Let me see here. Is intermittent fasting has become a trend in here. It was anyway.
Was it sponsored by General Foods?
No, not really, because it's not touting a food.
I understand.
It's saying research suggests extending the overnight fast may improve metabolism, aid cellular repair, and prolong life. However, that if you wait too long, the magic bullet goes away. And it actually, for example, intermittent fasting compresses eating into a short window. If the window's too short, they say that it will have cardiovascular risks. I don't know why.
First time I heard that. I mean, I would love
here,
to take.
and it was conducted. I'm trying to find it was okay.
Could it be?
It was an epidemiology study at a university in China, at a university school. Well, what do you mean? Oh, like you automatically discount it because it's in China?
Well, I'm certainly, I'm not likely to put a lot of weight on a Chinese study.
The unexpected. Why? I know I'm serious. Why would you say that? I'm
not accustomed to, I'm not accustomed to this huge wave of scientific and medical advances coming out of China.
Could it be the volume of food? Could it be the volume of food that they're eating in 8 hours, and so your heart, your heart works hard during digestive process, and so maybe that could be it. It's also, I heard the intermittent fasting is better. So when you're sleeping, your heart can rest instead of digesting food in your sleep.
Now listen to this one, okay? The Journal of American Medicine, the Internal Medicine, JAMA, that stands for Journal American Medical, the Journal of American Medical Association. Again, I don't put a lot of weight on AMA because they found that participants had negative effects with intermittent fasting as well. Another study indicated that intermittent fasting may produce side effects like dehydration, headaches. They're saying there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. In this new study, they say that basically you spread your eating out to 12 hours instead of 8, and that you hydrate properly and do not let your electrolytes get lower. So they're not saying that intermittent fasting is bad. They're just saying to extend it to 12 hours, hydrate, and electrolytes. I mean,
well, that part I totally agree with. I mean, it's good to do things properly, and hydration and an electrolyte replacement is critically important.
Now, I
right?
always heard that once a day. So once a day eating would be really confining your.
Yeah, it's called OMAD, 1 meal a day, and that's tremendously popular.
It's supposed to be very healthy. I thought.
Healthy.
But
I've
according
done
to
that. I've done 3-day fasts where I literally didn't eat a drop of food for 3 days. And Tom, I've never felt like I had more energy.
No, I know.
Or in day 3, I can do square root computations in my head. It's incredible what happens.
Now, talking about, I just want to let's talk to Julia. Julia, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were on the line. Go ahead, Julia.
Oh, that's okay. Hello.
Hi.
I am not quite sure what to say. I didn't know that
I'm sorry. Okay,
didn't know I was
Julia,
on air.
we're discussing all kinds of stuff, and you wanted to know about plumbing. What did you want to know about?
Oh, yes. So I have a friend of mine. You have helped her before, and she gave me your information.
Yeah.
Because my boyfriend has been looking for an apprenticeship in plumbing, so I thought that I would reach out to see
Okay,
if there's
Julian, I will tell you this. I will tell you this seriously. That is probably one of the most lucrative professions somebody can go into right now. There's a shortage of plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, and they love apprenticeships because the people get paid, but they don't get paid as much as someone experienced, but they learn on the job. Julia, does your boyfriend have any experience whatsoever?
He does have. So he's done landscaping, and he has so much construction.
But why is he looking into plumbing?
Well, he has done some plumbing stuff. I'm not sure exactly what he would know more than me, but But because, like you said, it is lucrative. It's a good. He wants to make it his career.
Okay, now Paul the Waterman, they happen to be master plumbers over at waterpros.net. Now, Paul, first and foremost, what does that mean? Can anyone start out as an apprentice in plumbing? In other words, does it mean a license to learn? Is there a license? What is involved?
So first of all, then they register at DORA. And then the company that hires them.
By the way, DORA, you register with the Department of Regulatory Agency, even as an apprentice.
Absolutely correct. Because once you start and you're working with a qualified plumber, master plumber, right?
Then your hours
start accumulating.
But so he would have to register first so his hours count. And then he would get a job as an assistant.
Yeah. So then what he does is he goes to DORA, spends, I think it's $15. He registers, he gets a number, an apprenticeship number, and then he finds, a company that he wants to work with. He feels like, this is where I best learn and grow. And then he gets attached to their license, their plumbing contractor slash
and then his hours count toward his total experience.
Exactly.
Does he have to take a test eventually?
Eventually.
How many levels are there? Is it just from apprentice to a master, or is it an apprentice, journeyman?
Journeyman, you had a plumber, residential plumber, journeyman, and then master plumber. So,
but he doesn't have to. You don't have to be a master plumber to work as a plumber, right?
No, you don't have to.
But you always have to work under a master plumber.
Correct.
Unless you are a master.
Correct.
Now, how many plumbers actually are master plumbers?
I don't know, Tom. It all depends. If you do residential work, like for example,
you don't need to be a master to do residential work.
Well, technically, you have to be supervised by a master plumber.
So you work for a company that has
a master plumber, right? And then that master plumber then works and supervises those plumbers. So for example, bigger companies could have 2 or 3 master plumbers based upon the total number of technicians they have going out in the job site. So now, the laws are continually to change. So now you can be, a plumber's apprentice who's been trained, and you can go do on your own. You can do a residential job
as long as technically they're overseen. And by the way, oversight doesn't mean they're on the job with you.
Correct.
It just means that they're there for advice.
So normally in her situation, this young man would basically be trained and go with the regular plumber until, they felt that he's qualified enough to, to be on his own. So he's not, you're not going to throw anybody out there.
Right. So apprentices can actually do jobs on their own.
Yes, in my field they can, but they have to be properly trained. And before it never used to be that way, but now they're allowing them to do basic water, water softening installs, reverse osmosis. That's something that can be done.
Now, do you hire apprentices?
Yes.
Okay. So, Julia, he has to go and register with DORA, Department of Regulatory Agencies, and then give Paul a call over at Water Pros. And if he wants to do more heavy duty plumbing, because Water Pros, they do a certain amount of plumbing, but they don't do service plumbing.
So I don't. Yeah. So what we do is basically anything in the field that's related to residential, water treatment, water filtration. Absolutely correct.
Okay, but he can now. So Paul the Waterman, 303-862-5554.
Yep.
Or you can call Plumline Services or Fix It or any one of these service companies. I'll bet you they would jump at the chance to have someone who's an apprentice. So if he has any specific questions, have him call me. We got more coming up. Terry's next on the Troubleshooter Show.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 630 KHOW, Denver. Now, Impact Traffic.
From the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Yeah, we've had some construction work through the Central Valley of I-25 southbound. They were moving slowly in the right lane at 23rd. They made it down to 6th Avenue, basically, but they're on the shoulder now. But still seeing the slowdown southbound. Yeah, it looks like northbound's kind of busy because we had a crash up towards 6th Avenue, but it is well out of the way to the shoulder. Now, coming into Cap Rock, north end of Meadows Parkway, we've had a grass fire. It's kind of on the exit there, but it is slowing traffic quite a bit. Everything else still pretty light for the lunch hour drive. With traffic, I'm Jonathan Steele.
Hold on.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll honor and remember the events of September 11th, 2001. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
So we were talking about plumbing, and one of the companies that does plumbing, along with electric, HVAC, and drains, is Fix It 24/7. Now, they're doing a special right now on furnaces because right now you don't need a furnace. Not really. So get it done. For $39, new customers get a $39 complete refurbishment of their furnace, really. They take it apart to the extent they can. They clean each and every nook and cranny, including the blower motor blades, every part of that furnace to give it a lease on life and higher efficiency. Find out more, fixmyhome.com. Book now or call them at 720-526-3939. I hope you never need Joe Lazzara. He is a defense attorney, but people get into trouble and they need a defense. They really do. Or they need someone to ask advice. Free advice always on initial consultations, and then flat rate pricing when it comes to your criminal offense or charge. So call Joe Lazzara at the first sign of trouble, Lazzara, LazzaraLegal.com, 303-429-6200. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. He said it could be iron.
About the
That's what he says.
All right. Hang on for me.
Do you want me to send you this article, by the way? The article on fasting. You want me to send it to you? Okay. Okay.
If you see $40 in the toilet tank and it's white or bubbly, or you see a film, that insults the bacteria, right? So, is it harmful? No, it can create tummy issues, which will turn into any kind of bacteria. So you see these little particles right there.
Thanks for calling the Troubleshooter Show. Please hold a moment.
Tom Martino to your life to that salt.
So if you have a sulfur smell, that's not due to bacteria. Is there a filtration system that will take care of it?
The water test, you're not guessing because of the twist step, it's even salt and gas or not. Most likely, any kind of
Sulfur gas would indicate the bacteria.
Sulfur gas, if you have sulfur gas and you turn the faucet on, it's like a really bad fire. Sorry, it's crude.
That's what it is. It's called sulfur.
Yeah, so it just smacks you in the face. That H2S gas.
So this commercial building turned on the water.
Yeah.
And I smell. It's only happened once in a while. I smell that sulfur.
Yeah.
I'm so grossed out because I thought sewage had come by.
Oh my God.
So most likely what happened there is if it's in the city water, so hopefully it's an oxidizer, so chlorine oxide, it's physical sulfur. Yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah, if you have sulfite bacteria, you need an oxidizer. Any kind of bacteria technically precursor to other
If you have a well, let's say you live like south of Castle Pine, it's kind of like that Sedalia. So, is there such a thing as a rule of thumb of teaching something?
No, it all depends.
No. It depends on where the aqua.
60 feet. Okay. So, how often do you need to treat that well for material?
So, number one, you never want to throw it in that problems create decisions. You never want to do that. In well water applications, I think it's responsible to basically set up a water softener.
So much warmer out there than it is here.
Is there an ozone treatment system?
That's fine.
Right, but is there such a system that will lower ozone through the water?
No, but ozone, there's no healthy benefit to that.
Well, hold on. There are systems that do use ozone gas.
We ozone the poison. We do ozone. It's a machine that creates the poison. You need a carbon filter afterwards to remove that ozone out of the water.
But ozone, okay. I had a hot tub one time that had this black light and water would pass through this tube.
That's not ozone. That's a
It was called an ozonator.
true ozone. Ozone is a machine that basically is like electricity kind of a thing. That you know.
Yeah, this had like an ozone and it looked like one of those Tesla coils inside. Good. And then water would pass over it. The way they explained it to me is this is like creating a lightning storm inside this thing. And as the
DRHI.com. 630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Okay. Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. You listen, a leading indicator of financial problems is often home sales. And wait till you hear what we found out about home sales. I'm going to talk to Terry first, though. Terry, go ahead. A leading indicator, by the way, means things to come, as opposed to a lagging indicator, which is after things have come. Terry, what is your comment on diets? Go ahead, Terry.
Yes. Hey, Tom, this is Terry from Alaska, your pal that calls in every once in a while.
Yes.
Hey, I just wanted to make a comment on that study. I'm a real living proof with a lot of others here in Alaska. I'm in healthcare, and I end up having 70% occlusion in one of my arteries, the widowmaker, and I get checked yearly, and it was after the vaccine the next year that I had that. So what I did, instead of going on statins, I did the OMAD diet and carnivore keto for a year. In less than a year, I reversed it because there's a scale.
Holy crap. So, Terry, you actually had a blockage that you could track over a year that went away.
Not just the blockage.
It went from high in 1 year's time. I have all the proof with no statins, using nattokinase, vitamin D, just regular nutrition and exercise, and reversed it down to low in 8 months.
Tom, Terry didn't just have a blockage.
You guys know when I talked about intermittent fasting, I'm quoting a study.
Oh, I know.
I'm not advocating it.
It's clear.
It said basically that the smaller amount of time in your fast, the worse it is, and the optimum seems to be 12 hours for your fasting. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
Yeah, the key part of what Terry said, it wasn't just blockage, it was the widowmaker blockage. And he resolved it, which is like 100% fatal. And Terry resolved it through 1 meal a day and keto and ketogenic dieting.
On one meal a day, what did you have on that one meal?
Typically, I would have everything was organic. It was grass-fed beef, butter, and I just really clean, and just water. Cut out everything, no sugars or anything like that. And then I start to introduce organic fruit, no pesticides. I'm telling you, that's a big difference. And then I entered into some vegetables, and I stay that way. That's just my life. I feel great. 50 years old, and Tom, I'm telling you, it works. It's no pharmaceutical drugs whatsoever.
Well, prior to this, the cancer I had. Now, during cancer, I had to eat like weirdness because of my surgery and all that. But I was on one meal a day for years and years and years. I mean, and I was very healthy. My blood chemistry was wonderful. And I was a big believer in one meal a day. And my one meal was about 4:00. And it wasn't too late. And I loved it. I never got hungry. And I would have protein and very little low carb. And I had high good fat. But again, and by the way, I didn't mention that because I think it caused health problems. It didn't. They said that I was very, very healthy, and cancer is just one of those things. But again, my diet had to change a little with chemo and all that crap. But I'm going back to the way I lived before. I mean, it served me well for many, many, many years.
Tom, it may have saved your life.
One meal a day is all I remember. I mean. Again, I loved beef. Now, I wasn't so selective on where I got my beef, like grass-fed or organic. I think meat gets a bad name. I really do.
Undeservedly so. I mean, beef and beef fat are the two healthiest things you can possibly consume.
Wow. So, Terry, I'm really happy you reversed that. How are you doing now? You didn't need stents or anything?
Didn't need stents, and I get my labs done regularly. Just to end with this is I feel great. My lost 30 pounds, and check this out, Tom. My testosterone natural level, being on this meat and this OMAD, I have a 700 score naturally,
Wow.
and I attribute it, because it was like 300 when I was going through all the problems.
Holy
and check
crap.
this out, my blood pressure went from 170 over 90. I'm now at 122 over 77. I'm telling you,
congratulations!
It's life-changing.
Great news.
Congratulations.
And say hello to all my Alaskan buddies. I have quite a contingency in Alaska, by the way. More right after this.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
Your standard commute throughout the Denver metro as we head into the early afternoon. I-25 north and southbound for the most part showing an intended speeds through town. Some normal slowdowns through the downtown area both directions between Alameda and I-70. 6th Avenue eastbound, some stopping on the off-ramp to I-25 southbound. I-70 east and westbound, easy driving to and from the DIA area. And some normal slowdowns on I-270 eastbound through Commerce City. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the story of the man who wrote the gospel song, I'll Fly Away. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Do you know from the time you have an insurance loss, you have 1 year to file a claim with your homeowner's insurance? If you've been hit by hail, I recommend you call Excel Roofing first. They're great people with no risk to the consumer whatsoever because they never take a cent until you're content. So call them. And if you have any damage, then you can call your insurance company and you can use the Excel estimate to make sure you're getting what you need because they do complete, detailed estimates. Excel, E-X-C-E-L, excelroofing.com, 303-761-6400. Do you want to be a landlord? If you do, I'll tell you what. You can be a landlord without the conventional risks and hassles by using Vestera Turnkey. Vestera Turnkey is a group of professionals that help you find rental properties in hot markets. Then, when you find that property, they help you manage it and they help you maintain it and they help you even with your phone calls. You become a landlord, but they become your nanny that handholds you through the whole process. That's Vestera Turnkey. Give them a call for more information, 303-888-3788. I might have to take her, depending on like after the break, maybe. Okay.
Rona?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see if I can get her in. What were you saying, Paul?
I think you might be. Well, she seems like she's pretty open. Hang on. Good afternoon, Tom Martino Show.
You didn't know I was a one meal a
I'm
day
doing
person
very
for
well,
years
thank
and
you.
years. Ever since I was 47.
What can I help you with?
That's probably why I fared so well. But they said I can't do that during. Well, now I can. I can go back to it now. Yeah. Which. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, carbs. Yeah, I know. Carbs are. There's no such thing as an essential carb.
What's your first name? Okay, Robert, hang on for me. Just be patient. We're going to get you on as soon as possible, okay? Uh-huh.
Charlie Kirk has been shot at Utah Valley University.
What?
What I just said.
Wow.
Wait, Charlie Kirk's that kid that debates the other kids, right? Yeah.
Wow. He's dead?
He said shot. I wouldn't assume shot means dead.
Oh, could be.
Four on the Dan Kaplan Show.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. Robert's got a question on dieting. Go ahead, Robert. What is your question? Are you there, Robert?
Let's say about, yes.
Go ahead.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I recently got diagnosed with COPD. And upon that, so I'm doing a lot better, stop smoking and all that stuff for about 2 months now. But during the time in the hospital, they gave me some steroids, and that like shot my sugar way up. And so I don't do the steroids anymore, but my sugar is still kind of uncontrollable, let's just say. And I just can't seem to get it under control. And I used to do fasting before, maybe not on a medical term
Well,
or
what are
whatever,
you eating on a regular basis? You say your sugars are out of control. And how
I don't
often?
eat anything.
What's that?
I eat 4 times a day. I eat 4 times a day, but small meals.
But what are you?
And,
But what food are you consuming?
Well, like like sandwiches and stuff. I mean, I do construction work, so it's kind of hard to eat, a lot of different varieties. But I've been wondering about fasting. I mean, it's because one doctor will tell you fasting is good, and most of them will tell you no.
Well, I don't know if most of them say no. Fasting. I'm telling you, Okay, most people agree that I read that fasting is good for you. Okay, it's good for you.
Yeah.
It triggers your repair and maintenance mode in your body. And it keeps you in what's called a famine set. People who trick their metabolism into repair and maintenance fare better with disease and with problems. And I think, if your blood sugars are out of control, okay, there's a reason for it. I mean, it's not magic. It's not like sugar is secretly. It's not like sugar is secretly entering your body. The only way your sugars are going to be out of control is what you're eating. And so some people hold on to sugar more, and they have less of a pancreas. Some have more. It depends on your endocratic, your endo. What do I want to say? The endo system. The hormones and stuff. So all I'm saying is this: you ought to look into a very low carb, low sugar diet and increase your fats and protein. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I'm saying, Robert, your sugars are coming. This is the message. Your sugars are coming from somewhere. And I meant to say endocrinologist, by the way. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show.
Charlie Kirk shot in Utah.
What?
Yeah.
Yep. Is he dead?
No reports saying so yet.
Holy crap. What? I wonder where he was.
Utah Valley College.
Some liberal.
Has to be. One would think.
Utah Valley University.
Where's that? Provo?
There's
intolerance. That's one thing the left is intolerant of violence.
Let's see, where are you? Utah Valley University. North of Provo.
Yeah. They're crazy.
It's a violent rhetoric from the left. Fighting is just insane.
That's where all the radical Mormons, have their sister wives and all these people. Good afternoon. Tom Martino Show. Hi. Oh, I've got her on. We're going to have her on next segment.
When you hit, what I can't stand about Fox? When you hit their coverage, they make you sign into like some cable. I mean, you can't just watch on their goddamn app. You can't just watch a story.
There's so much clickbait now.
No, I'm talking about they make you log in to some bullshit. Like you have to have a cable account. I swear to God, you can't just watch a tape on their app, which is stupid. Like right here, you can't just hit and watch it. But you're not. Are you okay? Look, I clicked and look what it does. It makes me.
Stay up.
Yep. No, I'm doing the same thing.
Now where? What do I do?
You click on that.
Yeah. Then what?
Stay right there. You should go right to it.
Nope. It says I have to sign in.
It's crazy.
I just can't fucking believe. I mean, I can't look at it. I have to literally sign up.
I can't even get to the damn.
I don't mean to
Sorry.
Can I make a suggestion? Why can't you put a kingdom right there, a TV like in the studio?
Well, I could, but what I don't understand why I can't watch on this app.
Fuck this.
I've got a preview since my preview expires in 58 minutes, so I'm not sure maybe why it's doing it to you. He was a big Trump supporter. He goes to universities and debates with people, and someone decided to shoot him. That's just insane.
Well, now I know what to get you.
Okay, so I had to
for
sign
Christmas,
into my
What you get me for Christmas?
yeah, but I had to sign in.
Harris's book.
Oh, I love it. Sounds great.
This is stupid.
I wonder what's.
This is the saddest thing. They got a
By the way, Tom, her name is pronounced Rona.
Rona, okay.
Mike, Rona.
Elected leaders are cheering the announcement of the new stadium location for the Broncos at Burnham Yard. Governor Polis says it took a lot of work to get to this point, but he's excited the Broncos will stay in Denver for a long time. We were able to find a site in Denver. It's actually a stadium purchased a number of years ago.
I wonder what his condition is.
I trying to figure it out.
gosh, the left talks about fighting back.
Well, CNN says Trump ally Charlie Kirk was shot.
Yeah, of course. Of course. And they'll blame Trump and his rhetoric. You wait.
That's the entire story here. The extent of Kirk's injuries were not immediately clear. That's the whole post from CNN.
Right. They don't want any sympathy, and they don't want to do a big story if it turns out to be a liberal gunman.
Oh God, it's
Newsweek said he was shot near the neck.
Yeah.
While seated at a live Q&A.
Jesus. Video of what? His
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if the shooter has.
On what? Does it show the shooting? Come on, bro.
They gotta know.
Okay. Oh, I see it. I see it on X. Oh yeah, I see where he got shot. Holy shit.
Condition unknown.
Oh God.
I don't know if the shooter has been caught or what.
It's a big event, man. American comeback. Look at that shit. Holy shit. Oh shit. You see him like jerk back, man. That's incredible.
How'd you find that? What website?
It's on X. Citizen Free Press has it up there. God, I hope to God he didn't die.
And you gotta do that. Then they're gonna come out and say, denounce political violence. So, how did that look when you're not getting it done? They showed Charlie Kirk get emotional when Trump on his second term. You sit down and debate people about faith and politics and shoot him like that.
Do you think this show is going fast?
app is just like your personal direct line to us.
I have John on the line.
Just tap that little microphone
John on the line again.
while listening to Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Ripped off, bad news. You need advice so you don't have to lose. We'll come running just as fast as we can. Troubleshooter's gonna help the common man.
This is the Troubleshooter Show. Now, Tom Martino.
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, what is happening in your life? There is violence going on in the news. Charlie Kirk was shot. He's a conservative. Would you call him an activist? What would you call him? Anyway, he was shot, and we don't know his condition. And he was at a college rally in Utah, and all we know is he was shot. If you read CNN, all it says is a Trump supporter was shot. And if you read Fox, it has a bunch of details. So I guess CNN is hoping that it's downplayed, especially if it turns out to be a liberal person who shot him. It's amazing to me how politics are in everything. I swear to God, it's unbelievable to me. Unbelievable. I want to talk about long-term care insurance. We've been talking about that on the show a bit, and I want to get to that. What is long-term care insurance? And I think, again, a lot of people misunderstand long-term care. For example, you will hear people say that annuities have long-term care coverage, and they don't bother buying coverage because they think their annuity will cover them. And I'm here to tell you straight up, it is not long-term care at all. Okay? So here's the deal. With an annuity, what happens is what they're calling long-term care is not long-term care. What it is the monthly benefit or the monthly income is doubled. That's what they're calling long-term care. Now, many annuities only pay $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 a month. By doubling that payment, you're not covering your long-term care. It has a long-term care rider which doubles the payment. It is not long-term care coverage, not by a long shot. I want to bring up an expert, Rona Unsell, and she is a long-term care specialist and sells long-term care insurance. Rona, have you heard people who sell annuities say that it has long-term care coverage? Have you heard that?
Well, there are new products now. Now, this is not the annuities that you buy for income or the ones you buy for income that have, like you said, where they'll double if you need long-term care. There are special annuities for long-term care where they'll triple your money. They can only be used for long-term care.
Okay.
So if someone put in $100,000, they could have $300,000 for long-term care and put maybe the inflation protection rider on it. So it has to be triggered by the same, 2 of 6 ADLs, not be able to perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, or have a severe cognitive impairment. That's the only way you can trigger that money. Unless you pass away, you get your money back. But that is a long-term care annuity specifically.
Now, what do you like? Do you like what's better, a long-term care annuity or long-term care insurance?
There are 3 types of long-term care insurance in the market now. The traditional, which has been around since the late 70s, we call it use it or lose it. And there are the life hybrid plans. You have to have better health to have the life hybrid plans. You're basically getting 2 policies.
What is that?
It's designed for long-term care. So it has a life insurance and a long-term care component. If you pass away and never use it, it pays out the life insurance part. But again, it's designed for long-term care, so it's going to leverage your premiums for long-term care. And then there are these newer annuities. These annuities really are better for people once they hit age 70. They're more lenient in health underwriting, and by that point in someone's life, they typically, maybe they have some additional money that's sitting around, and they have $100,000 in an account that they think, well, I'll use that for long-term care. Well, that won't get you very far. But if they put it in the annuity, day one, they'd have $300,000.
Okay, here's what I know what you're saying. With a traditional long-term care policy, what does it pay out?
Mm-hmm.
What does it pay out?
It's going to pay out whatever you choose. All long-term care plans are totally customized. That's what I've been in this business for 24 years, so I help people customize a plan that's right for them, one that they can afford, that meets their needs as far as care goes.
With traditional long-term care, the one that you buy an insurance policy, is that a use it or lose it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. Yes. You can purchase anywhere from $1,500 to $15,000 monthly benefit amount, and then you can put some inflation protection on it. It's very cost effective, but you pay premiums your entire life, except when you're receiving benefits. All premiums stop.
And I imagine, as with any plan, the older you get, the more expensive it is, because everyone would just buy it at age 69 or 70, right? I mean, is there a limit to the age? So how old do you have to be to buy?
79. On traditional, 79. I can sell people annuities up to, 89.
Well, okay. So
because they're really designed for older people.
Okay, so a traditional long-term care policy, you can sell, but I imagine it would be very expensive if somebody buys it at 75 years old, for goodness sakes.
Yes, and females are going to be more expensive than males. About 10 years ago, they realized, the agencies realized that women use so much more long-term care than men because we live longer.
Okay.
So they adjusted. We did have unisex pricing. Now it is gender-based.
Okay. And it's based on actuarials. So with a traditional long-term care policy, the insurance company is betting you're never going to use it. You're either going to die or you're not going to need long-term care. Obviously, that's how they keep the premiums at a certain price. So what's the optimum age to buy long-term care? If you buy it too early, you pay too long. If you buy it too late, you pay too much.
Well, and again, that's where these different types of plans, a younger person could buy a life insurance hybrid plan, and it becomes an investment. It's growing, and it also has the life insurance component. Ideally, I mean, by the time you reach 50 is a good place to start looking at it, early 50s, unless you have a lot of disposable income. I have people who've bought policies in their late 40s, but they made a lot of money.
Okay.
So it depends on your own financial situation. But health-wise,
Go ahead.
By the time I've heard advisors say who really didn't know much about long-term care, wait till you're 65 to purchase it. By the time people reach age 65, 38% of them are uninsurable.
And
there is criteria.
What makes someone uninsurable for long-term care?
If they have a cognitive impairment, if they've been diagnosed with Parkinson's, MS, if they've been diabetic more than 20 years, I have to go to a specialty type coverage. What other things would be if they've had more than 3 joints replaced?
So
it gets into chronic conditions.
On the open market,
Mm-hmm.
as far as actuarial tables go, do most people not use long-term care if they buy it? In other words, is it usually that they don't get to use it?
No. By the time you reach age 65, there's a 75% chance you will need long-term care in your lifetime.
Now, can long-term care be specified? For example, can long-term care cover you at home?
Yes. The new policies, all the policies I've mentioned, cover you in any setting. So that's home care, assisted living, adult daycare, hospice, memory care, skill facility, anywhere you need care. What long-term care does is it extends Medicare and it extends your health insurance to cover a situation that's going to last, a recovery or maybe a permanent situation that's going to last more than 90 days. Because that oftentimes gets into what's called custodial care, where you need help with your activities of daily living, or maybe you're having to just rest and heal and see if you do, recover. No health insurance and Medicare will not cover that.
Okay, so Medicare stops. Then when does Medicare coverage stop when it comes to long-term care? 90 days?
The way Medicare is currently written, if you have 3 nights in the hospital first, and you're in a recovery situation, you're needing to recuperate, they will cover the first 20 days 100%. Day 21 through 100, they're going to check you regularly to see if you plateau, if you fall into that custodial care category. And that's when they stop paying. Potentially, they could only cover 100 days.
Okay. And then after that, you're out of luck if you don't have long-term care.
You absolutely are. It's expensive. I saw my mother, 9 years in a skilled facility, go through way over $1 million, every penny she had.
Oh, my God.
Dementia, yeah. So it can be devastating. I mean, long-term care it's the greatest uninsured threat to people's retirement savings and their lifestyle, and they don't even know it. I used to do long-term care.
So you think everyone should have some kind of long-term care?
Yeah, but I mean, it needs to be customized to them. Something that they can afford, something that covers care in their situation. If someone says, I just want to cover home health care, you write a policy that for that amount, it's a lesser amount than if you're trying to cover some skilled coverage also.
I would think it would be more if someone wants to stay at home. So you're saying it's easier to get coverage to stay at home?
I'm saying I'm saying the cost of home care is less than skill facility.
But wouldn't there be cases where they say, you should be in a facility, we're not going to cover you at home?
No, they don't make that choice.
Okay.
When it comes time for claim, the person's doctor says, Mary needs long-term care.
Okay.
The doctor will fill out the medical form.
But if the doctor says you can stay at home and get care, can the company say, wait a minute, this would be way better if she was in a facility? In other words, what I'm trying to figure out is this: what would prevent everyone would want to be at home? Why wouldn't they? And so
that's what we're trying to do.
Okay.
That's exactly right, though. I mean, we all want to stay at home.
No,
and it's
but
our
I would
choice.
think that if a company did not have to cover you in a facility, but they did have to cover you at home, knowing insurance companies, they would try to do everything they can to disqualify you from staying at home.
No, they can't do that. Once you have that policy, it is your right to use it any way that you want to.
Perfect.
The only thing your doctor does is just qualifies you that you can't perform 2 of the 6 activities of daily living, or you have a severe cognitive impairment.
All right. Hang on.
Then
We got
you choose your caregiver. You choose your setting.
I have questions coming in already on my text. If somebody wants to text me, it's 747-999-5280. We have more coming right up.
Well,
right now? Yeah. Okay, I gotta go use the rest. How much time do I have?
5.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
all right. You do that.
Excuse me, did they say 1 kid or 2? 2 child.
All summer, your AC has been running through your furnace, coating it with dirt, dust, and debris. The number one killer of furnaces. Don't wait for costly breakdowns with the first cold snap. Fix it 24/7. Screen clean, check and tune, just $39. The only ones who truly clean each and every part. Like a refurbishment. For new customers, just $39. Protect your system and your wallet. Fix it 24/7. Hometown partners of the Broncos. Go to fixmyhome.com. Click book now.
Michael Brown here. My neck pain was from an injury, and it was calling the shots of my daily routine and really limiting me. But QC Kinetics flipped the script when I had their amazing therapy in my neck, and it's felt like new for over a year now. They use regenerative medicine, advanced cellular treatment, to help your body heal and restore the damage in your joints. Not covering it up, not cutting it out, actually helping your own body heal and restore, giving you long-term lasting relief. So instead of planning your day around your pain, plan it your way. QC Kinetics means no surgery, no drugs, no long-term recovery. Just a smarter, natural way to get your freedom back. Bring your MRI or your x-rays. They'll make sure you're a good candidate. They have clinics in Aurora, Superior, Highlands Ranch, and Colorado Springs, so they're close to you. Your first consultation, that's free. So there's no reason to wait. Call QC Kinetics today. 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. QC Kinetics. 303-900-8986.
You're great at protecting your own personal information. You probably even use things like two-factor authentication.
Thanks so much for holding, Rona. We're going to be with you in just a second, okay? Uh-huh.
That also have it. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points.
I almost called her Rhonda.
Do you know if anything uses those phono plugs anymore? I have cords that I used to have for stereos. You know what I mean by a RCA plug? Does anything even use them anymore? I mean, it seems like these cords are useless now. Everything's HDMI and mini plugs and no. You don't have an RCA plug. That's not an RCA plug. No, that's not an RCA plug. That's a mini. That's a 3.5 millimeter.
They're just replaying the same one.
Have you ever seen them?
I mean,
they have like
there's just
I mean, I have one in
I
there.
had no idea the crowds were that large.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? You tell
Yeah, like they usually come in
I've seen the TikTok.
three of them,
videos,
like
the
left, right, and
Instagram videos, or whatever his stuff, right? Then they just focus in on the.
Looks
the
like a
guest
squad.
speakers,
I mean,
because most of them
That's pretty
are
impressive.
HDMI, or is it an older
why
player?
would somebody do this? What is
Oh
your
Jesus Christ!
thing
Well,
that you
that's
think you're going to garner out of this?
Crazy.
And when I turn it on, it says thank you.
oh God Almighty! You have such an old-fashioned.
Just insane.
It totally works. What is a new DVD player going to do? Oh, I can't.
Yeah, but they keep changing shit all the time.
So you buy shit that you don't need.
Yep, now the Guardian's doing Trump ally Charlie Kirk shot.
Yeah.
Well, that's Guardian. Yeah. They're gonna always pull that crap.
Trusted local fiduciary advisors. TrajanWealth.com. Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Frank Duran, the real estate man, will do a free market evaluation of your home. People are wondering, what will my house sell for these days? Well, Frank Duran can tell you based on where you are, the kind of house, the neighborhood, all of that. And it's free. It's a complete analysis free of charge by an expert in the business more than 30 years. Frank Duran, the realestateman.com. 303-920-1622. We're talking to Rona right now, Rona Unsell, about long-term care. And man, this is a popular topic. People are texting me. Someone says, Tom, someone says, and by the way, to sum it up, Rona tells us there's traditional long-term care. You pay a premium. When you use it, you use it. If you don't use it, if you die or don't need it, if you can still do all of your functions, then you lose it. Now, then there's the life, there's long-term care along with life insurance. So you always have a benefit no matter what. And then you have long-term care annuities, which pay a specific annuity amount for long-term care, but they can only be used for long-term care if it's a long-term care annuity. Is that correct?
Correct.
Then what's the difference between I don't
people get their money back.
I'm a little confused. What's the difference between a long-term care annuity and traditional long-term care policy?
Well, with an annuity, you have to put a lump sum up front.
Okay.
And it starts at $50,000.
Okay. And what would the benefit?
The more you put in.
And it depends on your age too, right? So the amount you put in. Okay. So somebody here says, Tom, I'm like you. I'm a cancer survivor, except this person is 65. They said, is it too late for me, or am I considered too high of a risk?
No, it's not too late for you. It depends on what kind of cancer you had, what grade or stage it was. But no, and the annuities, I have an annuity that would take you for sure. But I analyze all this with my clients, to find out exactly their health and then match up different carriers. And then we work together and create sample quotes, and I send them this along with brochures. So my first session with everybody, I schedule Zoom sessions, is to educate them. They can't even consider long-term care if they don't know what their options are.
Okay, so with the long-term care annuity, then, if it's not used for long-term care, what happens to it?
It goes back to your estate.
Okay.
When you pass.
Okay, and the amount of the long-term care annuity, the amount of the benefit depends on your age and how much you put in, right?
Correct.
Okay, so it's like any annuity. The longer it festers, the more it gains. The more you put in, the more it gains.
Right. And there are two different types of annuities. I won't get that gets really kind of deep into the weeds.
Give me an idea. Go ahead.
I have one that you can pick a fixed rate, a 3% compound for it to grow, and then another one. It has. It's the one that is easiest to health qualify for. Depending upon your age, you get over 300% leverage on your money day one, and then it will grow for 2% compound for 20 years. I mean, they're very different.
Right.
But I show this to people side by side so we can say which one is going to get you more money in 10 years and 20 years to see, what works better for them.
When do you find most clients being interested in this? Did you say around 45 to 50?
I have every age. I have a couple right now that's 81 and 82.
What?
And they have, hear me out. And they have $350,000 in a life insurance policy, and they can do what's called a 1035 exchange, and they can roll that into a joint long-term care annuity. And so now they have long-term care, tax-free long-term care benefits.
Wow, this is pretty fascinating.
joint policy. It's extremely complicated now, and I get calls continuously. I used to do education at tech companies in California, in Silicon Valley. I would fly out from Colorado, and I did that, for 10 years.
Now, with the traditional long-term care policy, the traditional one, are there many different companies, or are there a few prime players? And do prices vary among companies?
Yes. yes. For instance, New York Life is ungodly expensive for no reason.
Okay.
Mutual of Omaha can give you much better coverage for, a fraction of that cost. Mutual of Omaha is really the top player right now in the traditional space. So there's about 5 players in that space, but Mutual of Omaha offers the most, has a very rich plan design, plus a lot of options that I can use to keep someone's premiums down.
Now, as a long-term care annuity, would there be a long-term care annuity that can actually be annuitized if you don't need long-term care? Is there such a hybrid?
No, it's either you pass away or you use the long-term care.
Okay, so there is none that it would be wonderful if
that's not like the annuities for income.
No. It would be nice if you had an annuity for income that truly was long-term care coverage. But again, many of them have the riders that double the benefit, but they're not truly covering the long-term care. It's just a rider. Right. Okay. My goodness, Rona, you know what? I want to book you for a show sometime. This is a fascinating topic. And I know we've talked in the past, and you're friends with our people at Integra Insurance. And do you have a website of your own?
I do not have. I work so heavily off referrals. It's these days. I don't have a website. I can give you my phone number and my email address, and people can just reach out to me.
Okay, I'm going to give the phone number. I'll give the phone number. Okay. It's 303-527-0947. And that's 303-527-0947. And what's your email?
Rona, it's my first name, RHONA, at Unsell, my last name, UNS, as in Sam, ELLINC, like incorporated.com.
Okay.
Rona at unsellinc.com.
Unsellinc.com. Okay, Rona at unsellinc.com. That's wonderful. So listen, I'll tell you what I'd be interested in. I would only be interested in the kind that you can do for home care. And I'll bet you have a lot of people like that.
Well,
break time, buddy.
I mean, on home, you're choosing how much money you want to purchase in your policy. And if you're just interested in home health care, then you choose a lesser amount. You save yourself money on your premium by choosing a lesser amount of insurance. But it's not just a home care strictly policy. I do have a short-term care plan. I work with those too. Those are 360-day policies, and they can go up to, like I said, age 89.
Okay.
So that works for people who are much, much older. But all you do is, so you buy a $6,000 a month policy, $200,000 total, but 3% compound on it, and you're just planning to use it for home health care.
I see what you're saying. So you get to choose. Right. I got it. Okay, we have more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Stick around. 303-713-8255.
KHOW Denver, 630 KHOW, an iHeart radio station. Download the free iHeart Radio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
One incident through the downtown area, I-25 northbound approaching 6th Avenue. We've got a crash blocking 2 right lanes with stop and go back from Lincoln and Broadway. For this time of day, only adding about 2 minutes to your commute. Pretty calm driving throughout the Denver Metro. Otherwise, I-25 southbound showing highway speeds through town. I-70 east and westbound easy driving to and from DIA. Out west into the high country, you may see some traffic on I-70 east and westbound due to ongoing police activity. With traffic, I'm Mark Swan.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll honor and remember the events of September 11th, 2001. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
I love talking about this next company, GreatWesternBuildings.com. Why? Because they're a steel metal building factory, a real metal building factory. You see, you hear many people say they're with a factory and they're just lying to you. But Great Western Buildings is a true factory right here in Colorado, employing 150 people, 120,000 square feet, 100% American steel. They have a lifetime structural warranty. Think about that. They have flexible lead times, all in-house engineering, and they will deliver direct to consumer. And they are a factory right here in Colorado, the best. GreatWesternBuildings.com. Hey, you know what I like? I like when a solar company is a real solar company, not just in name. They don't just sell a contract and you never see them again. These people at Red Rocks Roof and Solar, they do the contracts, they do the sales, they do the installation, they do the service. And they're doing commercial operations only right now because those are the ones with the greatest benefit to the customer. Whether you have real estate like an apartment house, a duplex, or maybe you have some kind of other commercial enterprise, you can get a solar system almost paid for completely by the government and then make a profit by selling the power. RedRocksRS.com. That's RedRocksRS.com. And if you want to call them, let me give you that number. It's Red Rocks, 303-704-2449.
Speculate.
Man, that woman was a really wealth of knowledge.
I take it you're done with her?
What? Holy crap. Do you know if Charlie's dead or not?
Grok says the injuries are serious, but he's going to be okay.
Oh my God.
I can't find any other information anywhere else.
We're trying our best up here.
Okay.
Are you done with Rona?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to get her on the referral list too, man. She's good.
Rona, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
No, I didn't. So what are they saying about that one? Again. Anybody dead? I hope not.
MSNBC just speculated that the Charlie Kirk shooting could have been a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration.
What? They did not.
Hey, did you hear about the Evergreen school shooting?
Oh my God.
What?
MSNBC are imbeciles.
As we don't know any of the full details of this, that we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea.
What a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
MSNBC for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Imbeciles. Complete imbeciles. I have this woman's information and everything, Tom, so if you want her on again, let me know.
Okay, good. I don't have anything here on my text line. I have no idea. I have my text line is 747-999-5280.
I got this generic text that says people always send a text to.
That was MSNBC how long ago?
I don't know.
Oh, I hardly ever. Shit, that one sucks, but I'll look at it. I mean, I don't care. I just don't use it. I mean, hardly anybody uses it. So I'm going on it right now. Ask Paul, what does he think of a water system that has 3 large filters? One is for softening. What's that?
So fun doing breaking news.
Well, no.
Arguably, it was not MSNBC who said that. It was a guest who was on MSNBC.
Who cares? Still got the audio.
Salt-free water supplements do not exist.
Holy crap. God, I just hope he's okay.
Okay. But we have to do this in a very simple way. The way it normally works is water passes through media. And then the media removes the hardness. But then you have to wash the media out.
That has to be a scope. Like
But the salt water
tactical-
never mixes with the actual water of the house. Okay.
It's not an AR. I guess it could be, but shit, I've never shot
What's that?
my AR 200 yards away. Shot the 10 gauge.
Did you hear what MSNBC said?
Oh my
They
god,
said,
idiots.
We think it could be a celebrating. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-8255. Paul, the waterman, someone wants to know about a salt-free softener. Now, the reason they're asking this, I'm sure, is because there is a rumor, let's call it more of an urban myth, that water softeners add salt to your household water. They do not add salt at all to your water. Explain that.
So, water softeners use a process of ion exchange. They grab the hardness as a liquid.
Okay, so hold on. So the water from your house goes through a filter media
called resin. Yep.
And the filter media grabs the hardness.
So wait, that's right.
Okay, so now you have on the other side of that media pure water
Clean
without
water, without hardness.
Without hardness. Then the media filter that it just went through gets rinsed with salt water.
Correct. The saline solution, that same that's natural that they use to rinse your eyes or clean out a wound. Or
Right. So it's cleaning the filter. It is not mixing with household water.
Correct. And it goes down the drain.
Okay. So the salt water rinses the media and then goes down the drain.
Correct. That's exactly right.
And the water for the house is never mixed with salt.
Correct.
Why do they say salt-free? What is a salt-free softener?
It's an illusion. It doesn't exist. It doesn't remove the hardness.
Okay, the systems that they say are salt-free, what do they exist? What do they consist of?
I don't know. It's a good question. There's a filter media. Majority of it could be activated carbon. I'm not sure what they're using to make that claim because resin is the only way to remove hardness. That was invented in Germany in the 1890s.
Resin,
water softening resin. It's an ion charged resin. It's called ion
and
exchange
when water
resin.
passes over it,
it removes the hardness as in the liquid form. Correct. So there's let's say resin has a negative charge, water hardness is a positive charge, so it attracts it and attaches it.
Okay.
The salt water basically neutralizes the field and the hardness is sent down the drain.
But don't they claim to do that with that other system that
the Halo? No, there's no such thing as magnets or
what they claim with Halo. What is it called? Halo?
The Halo 5.
They claim that it aligns the hardness so it doesn't deposit.
No, so they're taking legitimate technology of the ion exchange and trying to put their own, magic, formula to it.
Didn't we see a live? Didn't you see a live example of that?
We did. Remember, we had
There was a water boiler, and the boiler required that water go into it soft because it would not warranty it unless you had softened water.
Yeah, so that they put
because they knew that hard water going through the boiler would ruin the boiler.
Correct. And so they put a Halo in, and the Halo didn't do anything.
And the halo was supposed to soften the water before going to the boiler.
Correct.
Keep the boiler from
building up with deposits.
But instead,
it just built up with deposits. And so the halo does not soften.
So the halo not only did not work, but ruined the boiler.
Correct. And magnets do not. Water, is a liquid. So, and then calcium is a rock. So there's no polarity with calcium that's going to be.
Then how did they get away with advertising that they soften water?
Well, it's fake advertising, and someone's got to call them on the carpet because, again, water hardness is calcium carbonate, which is a liquid. Air comes in contact, converts it to a scale. There's no polarity with a rock in a magnet. It doesn't work.
So by saying that the magnet aligns the water molecules to keep them from depositing on your pipes
is not true. Not at all. It's a glorified backwashing carbon filter. And besides, think of this. You know how powerful the magnet would have to be to go through a home your size to even, in theory, if it worked? Because you have, what is this?
Well, what they say is the water passes over the magnet.
Right, but to keep the polarity, you have to keep the magnetic field there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Anyway, we have more coming up, 303-713-8255. I want to tell you about Renew Home Innovations that does beautiful shower conversions and bathroom remodels, and they do it with porcelain if you want it, sheet porcelain. Unbelievably beautiful showers and bathrooms, wainscoting, whatever you want to use it for. This sheet porcelain, of course, they can do other materials as well. RenewHomeInnovations.com. They do it in 2 or 3 days, and you have a year to pay with 0 interest if you have approved credit. 303-904-2000. I find it hard to believe that these people
now impact traffic from the Superstar Car Wash Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by Our American Stories.
One incident through the downtown area, I-25 northbound approaching 6th Avenue. We've got a crash blocking 2 right lanes with stop and go back from Lincoln and Broadway. For this time of day, only adding about 2 minutes to your commute. Pretty calm driving throughout the Denver Metro. Otherwise, I-25 southbound showing highway speeds through town. I-70 east and westbound easy driving to and from DI.
This halo shit.
Out west into the high country, may see some traffic on
I-70
east and westbound due to ongoing
Yeah, I know, it's not true.
with traffic on Mark Swan.
This is Lee Habib, host of Our American Stories. On our next episode, we'll share the story of the man who wrote the gospel song, I'll Fly Away. You won't want to miss the next episode of Our American Stories.
Hey, you want to call the Art of Granite right now, and you want to get a price. How do you do that? You just call them and tell them what kind of material you want, whether it's granite, natural stone, or man-made material. Give them your square footage. They may want a cell phone, a smartphone pic. Whatever it is, you'll get a price. If you like the price, they'll come to your house and template and measure in about 15 or 20 minutes. And 3 weeks later, you have brand new countertops. Tear out and haul away is always free. Call for your price right now. Theartofgranite.com. 303-386-5919. 386-5919.
Okay. Reddit, you suck. Or
Salt-free Future Soft. 4 to 6 bathrooms. $3,000. God almighty, how do they get away with that shit? There should be a test you can do on the water.
You can improve it. I do it.
So you can go on the other side of the halo and take a hardness test.
It's hard 100% of the time. Remember, what's Bob's last name? Logan?
Yeah.
He even got on the phone with you. Remember at one time he admitted it doesn't soften the water. He says it
Not in a conventional sense.
Yeah.
But they say they keep the water from doing harm.
No, I don't believe it.
See if it will play for you. He basically said he's dead.
Who? Who's done?
No, we're trying
Kelly's husband believes while watching the video that Kirk is dead.
Oh my God, if you saw the shot, it does look like it. Holy crap. Or he'll be paralyzed.
Where the goddamn video is. He just sent it to me on a stupid social media platform that
Oh, there's a. Oh my God in heaven. Is that a real one or is that. No, 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 no. That almost looks fake
Oh,
for
it's the same
God.
one. Yeah, it's the
Do you
same
see the one close up?
No.
No.
Oh my God. Oh my
There's only the
God.
one far away.
Oh my God. Okay. I think this is almost fake. It's so real. I know that sounds crazy, but I swear to God, I got to give you this link. Holy shit! Oh,
Yeah, send it to me.
I'm texting it to you. You got to see this, guys. You got to see this. Holy shit! I've never seen something more disgusting and disturbing in my life.
If it's real.
Okay, it almost looks not real. Look at that I just sent you on your text. Did you see that one, the close up?
All right, hold
Oh
on.
my God. It can't be. No, that's not real. I think that's AI.
Oh.
No, that can't be real.
I think that might be
Here, send it here.
over exaggeration.
Do you think that's not real, is it?
I don't think so.
It ought to be fucking criminal that they do shit like that. Honest to God, if that's AI, that is such bullshit. You already looked at it. You looked at the big one.
No, I saw the faraway video.
I don't know.
What was it again that had it? Did you say?
Because Adam
Citizen.
sent me one, but it was the one from far away.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's the same or not. I mean, I'm trying to look at it. No, it said there is a close-up we will not post. Holy shit. So it does look like it.
I don't know.
Oh my God. I think it is real. Oh my God in heaven. That is the most disturbing thing. He doesn't look like he's going to live from that. Oh my God. Oh, that poor guy. Jesus Christ.
You know, that could definitely be.
Oh my God. It looked like it got him right in the jugular vein.
Yep.
And right through his spine.
That's a kill shot.
Oh my God in heaven.
And that's a pretty big bullet, too. So that's got to be pretty high-powered rifle right there.
My God, they already arrested the guy?
Yeah, he's in custody.
Oh my God, I
He
hope.
also Mirandized himself, which I found, interesting.
Oh my
God. The senator joins me to discuss what prompted her to join the race and what her path to victory looks like. Wednesday on Ryan Schuling Live.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Let's talk to Greg. Greg, go ahead. You have a comment on water? What's happening, Greg?
I do. When my parents built a house out in Nevada in Boulder City back in the mid-'70s, my mom was adamant about getting a water softener, which we did. And it was a big block of salt that you put into it. But she also had the builder put in a separate line to the kitchen and the bathroom sinks for regular drinking water. That way she avoided having to have any kind of a system like that. She loved it.
I don't understand why she would have to have a separate system.
Years ago, Tom, old-fashioned water softeners like that with the black salt would bleed too much unused salt, and then so the water would taste salty. It was the technology back in the day. So then what happened is that it was normal to...
So that's why that myth started, that
Right,
it adds
that's
salt.
why, and that was before reverse osmosis technology, too.
Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. 303-713.
What you doing?
The EPA has stated there is no safe level of exposure to PFAS without a risk of health impacts.
Correct.
They have no standard, but yet they say drinking water contaminated with PFAS or forever chemicals have been plagued have plagued communities across the nation. So what they did was they made standards. This is what I find crazy. They've made standards on how many PFAS can be existing in water.
It went from 1 part per billion to 4 part per trillion, now to 0. So 1 part per billion, Olympic-sized swimming pool is 1 drop of contaminant in the water. So PFAS is in our water supply.
And they're saying if there's more than 1 drop in a giant Olympic-sized swimming pool, it's too much.
Too much. That's the whole point about water contamination.
But yet they made these. Here's what I find odd. They made these standards, but there's not 1 water system in the country that can meet that standard.
Well, and that's right. It's impossible. That's what we're saying in the beginning. These systems.
So they've actually made a standard for the first time ever.
Right.
They issued a national regulation limiting the amount of PFAS. Yet there is not 1 water system in the country that can meet it.
That's correct. 100% correct.
Well, then what good is that?
That's the whole thing. It's all about money. See, the previous.
What do you mean all about money?
They wanted to fine these municipalities so they'd get money in their coffers.
The municipalities across the country,
correct,
virtually every single water system,
correct,
will have to come up with the technology
or pay a fine. So the current EPA has adjusted that back. The previous administration did that because the fine goes into the coffers. They knew they couldn't.
So what is now the recommendation? 1 billion?
0.
0.
0.
Well, how can they do it?
Well, they can't. That's why they were waiting to find. Point of views reverse osmosis like you have will do it. People have to take their own.
But you can't do that on a municipal.
Oh, you have to take your own responsibility.
Listen, we're out of time. Go to 303 Martino, and you can send a message, and you'll get back on the show. 303-627-8466.
Did you have a question for me?
All right, you're clear, buddy. See ya.
Thanks.
At Real Tom Martino. And stay connected with all of us at 630 KHOW. KHOW.com. And on the iHeart